What's going on, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's your boy Nerdy Nick, back with best friend Josh.
What's up?
For another episode of the NSquared podcast. Now, we'll get to the chat here in just a few seconds. Before we get started, we just want to shout out our sponsors over at hubdaddystore.com. Enter code mustache10 to get yourself 10% off your purchases of mugs, coffee, candles in mugs, and more. That's hubdaddystore.com. Use code NSquared10. And also w.gg. Use code NSquared10. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, we're not?
Oh. If we were, I would have told you, bitch! Anyways, interrupt my fucking plug. Use code NSquared10 at w.gg to get yourself 10% off your order of energy drink supplements. It's all made in the USA under GMP guidelines. No artificial colors, flavors, additives, none of that shit. It's dosed at 150 milligrams, so it'll keep you rocking and rolling for whatever challenges await you. Okay, so we had some weird fucking camera issue.
Yeah.
We were trying to fucking call Reggie. It wasn't showing us on the camera. It was saying some bullshit.
We tested it beforehand and it was working.
Yeah.
And then for some fucking reason it just was not working when we called Reggie, so.
Yeah. So this is how the show's gonna go tonight, folks. We're gonna do our what's up, our intro shit. And then when we would normally take a segmented break, that's when we're gonna call Reggie into the show. So you gotta look at us, moderately handsome and ugly fuck here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. So just deal with us for a few minutes, and then we'll call Reggie into the show. His phone needs, to charge and stuff, so we get it. We also fucked up the camera somehow. I don't know. Anyways, how's the audio level, guys? How is the audio? Let us know in the chat. 1 for good, 2 for bad.
Yeah, let us know if we gotta increase the music volume, if it's good at where it's at.
Yeah, or the mic. I mean, how do we sound? Is it clear? We coming across okay? I need to actually check. I need to check the mic setting.
Oh my god. Turning into an ASMR channel.
Yeah, I think it's good. Alright, we got collecting the box with a 1. Alright, so before we get any further, age-old question.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
The fucking solar eclipse in the sky.
I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't fucking look.
I know, I missed it.
Yeah, I was tempted to look, but then I was like, you'll go blind. Don't do that.
So you get a box, you put some slits in it, and just look through the slits.
Well, dude, I've been inside so much today. I was inside the house until maybe about like 1 o'clock today.
Oh, God.
And I went outside well after the eclipse was done. And I was like, oh, it's so bright! I couldn't even look up. I was like, when you're looking, right? And you can start to notice the rays around the sun?
Yeah.
I was right there and I was like, ah! I came back inside, put my sunglasses on, and then I still had to do this shit with my sunglasses.
Oh my god.
That are polarized, by the way.
Oh man. Alright.
What?
I was gonna say, we forgot to do what games we've been playing.
Oh yeah, no, we just had to talk about the eclipse, because everyone and their mom and whatnot has been talking about that eclipse.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I wish we would have had a full eclipse though. I've never experienced a full eclipse. It's always been like a partial.
Yeah. Go ahead and catch up with the chat here just real quick. Lock PSB says, "Let's fucking go!" Again. We got collecting the box. We back!
Hell yeah.
Okay, Lock. I saw this in the first attempt of the stream. Lock says, I have a segment for the show.
Ooh.
Do you smell what the Lock is cooking?
Oh my god.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it justice real quick. Ready? Do you smell what the Lock is cooking? Thank you. I should be a ring announcer too. I could be fucking whatever. Snark says, damn, I forgot to switch over. By the way, I wanted to again thank you all for your help last week. I am now back on the road.
Fuck yeah, Snark.
For those of you that are new here, we did a little charity drive here for our good moderator, Snark. He had some car trouble last week, so we just wanted to do whatever we could to help him out. So
yeah,
we only streamed one time last week, unfortunately, but we did get him some cash to help him out. Mm-hmm. Brett says the coffee smells so good when the bag opens. Oh, that's the Hub Daddy coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone says sounds good, thumbs up, blah 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 blah. Just use your phone like I did. I'm in Ohio, and it was at 98% totality. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I heard Texas was supposed to be like where it was really fucking 100%. But then I guess it was like some fucking cloudy day.
Yeah.
Red Zombie says, "What's up?
What's up, Red Zombie?
What's up? What's up?" Yeah. Anyways, it's like R-Truth from WWE.
Oh.
And then Alex Kano says, "Hey, you guys!" All right, is that it? We caught up? We're caught up.
We're caught up.
Yeah, we caught up. So, we've been getting a whole lot of new subscribers. So, if you guys are new here and you found us through the long form videos, welcome. And hope you like what you see here. The content, look at this is a channel of two beasts. We have the long form content and the Monday night podcast and the live stream stuff.
Yeah.
The long form videos that I've been putting out are more of my, like, I guess you would say, like, my old nerdy Nick flavor of stuff. So you get, nice produced content there. And then here you get
Two idiots
rambling, usually coherently, about topics. Tonight, though, I will say I am drinking this big mug full of Baja Blast Zero with tequila.
It's like about half tequila.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's not enough to get him inebriated.
I'm going to be fucking breathing fire, though, I'll tell you that. So yeah, guys, in the chat, if you're a seasoned viewer of our stuff on the live stream end, please do a warm welcoming hello and welcome any and all new viewers that might be here. The channel, I will say, has been blowing up, which, I mean, I am very grateful for.
Excited.
I'm not gonna excited. I'm not gonna say like I expected it, but this time around with my long form content, I've really put so much like work and effort into it. And now just because you work hard on something and put a lot of effort into it doesn't mean it's going to get the attention it may or may not deserve. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
very true. Yeah.
But this time around, it's just been spectacular. Like, I would have never have guessed that we would have this exponential growth, in such a short amount of time. I mean, right now we're inching. That's right.
Inching forward.
Yeah, we're inching closer to 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
Each and every day, it's blowing my mind, and I'm trying to keep up with all of the comments in every video and stuff.
It's just getting a little bit harder. And
Oh,
harder
dude, it's getting much more difficult. It's getting much more difficult, but I am trying to put time and energy into the community that we're trying to build here, whether it be live streaming or with the long form content. So I just want to say thank you all for really watching the videos that I've been putting out and the podcast that we do every week. It's just awesome, and we do this for you guys. Like, we're not trying to get famous. I think, we're
trying
just
to have fun, trying to meet new people.
If anything, we're just trying to really just. We already talk about video games, so we were like, and bullshit, and we were like, let's do it with other people.
Right?
And that's what we do with you guys and engage in the chat every week. So we just thank you guys so much, man. Let's see here.
Last one was Lock.
Yeah. Mazatlan, Mexico.
I'm guessing that's where they had 100%?
Yeah. August 12th, 2045. It's going to be a total eclipse in Orlando. I'm going to Disney World, boys. And the Rat Zombie says, I'm in the Taco Bell drive-thru right now, LOL.
Oh, dude, drive safely.
Yeah, Baja Blast.
Drive safely.
Yeah, and then Snark says, and if you are new here, to be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Yes, and please don't forget to ding dong that bell. So you get the notifications of when we go live each and every time.
Right?
Because we are in Arizona, so our time zone does not change for us.
Oh, I know. I love it.
It's great. We don't have to worry about daylight savings, but you do. But an easy way to curve that is just clicking the bell to get all the notifications for when we go live, and you have no worries about, oh shit, time conversion.
Yeah.
And all that. Snark says, damn it, I'll be 71 when that happens. All right, so we're going to go ahead now and continue on with our What's Up. So what have you been playing, Josh?
Dragon's Dogma 2.
I thought you beat it.
Dude, fucking, I'm doing New Game Plus, and I'm still finding shit I did not find in the first playthrough. Kind of because I rushed through it, but also because it's just so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
The gameplay they got right. Story, ass. But I'm not surprised.
Ass.
That's how the first game was. That's not why I loved it. Story was horrible. Gameplay, fantastic.
You know what that reminds me of? There's this meme. It's of Goku, and it's from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, where it's like a shot of him, and it's a shot looking down at him, and he's like in his jacket, and he's like, his fit, whack. His walk, whack. You know, like, it's that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that just reminded me of it.
But me, I'm tight as fuck.
Yeah.
I fucking love that video. But yeah, no, gameplay is super fucking fun, and I'm still trying to unlock all the classes, because I haven't done that.
So you just been mainly on that?
Yeah, and then, of course, playing some Destiny. New content's dropping, free content, fucking finally, forever. Since the last time they dropped free content on Destiny. That's releasing tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be busy with that, so I'm trying to get as much playtime as I can on Dragon's Dogma. But
So you'd be playing by yourself a whole lot. Or should I say you'd be playing with yourself a whole lot?
yeah. Well, I mean, I have the boys on the headset, so you know.
You heard it here first, guys.
But yeah, no.
You shouldn't have said boys.
I meant what I meant.
That's horrible.
Man.
We're getting canceled now.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
But yeah, no. So, whatchamacallit?
Everyone boo this man.
Shut up. Until you level up a little bit more and get used to Helldivers, I'm gonna be playing Destiny.
Arkansas Picker says I play with myself a lot. It's okay.
See? I'm not the only one.
Oh man.
But yeah.
So just a whole lot of Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, and
Cool.
then but I plan on joining you on that one once you get more used to it.
Rat Zombie says, "What the fuck, Josh?" yeah. So is that it for what you've been playing?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay. So what I've been playing, well, this weekend definitely didn't have a whole lot of gaming because there was this little thing. I don't know if you guys are aware about it. It's called WrestleMania, brother. And WrestleMania 40 took place this weekend, and we'll brush over that. Josh didn't come over and watch it because he was fucking busy disc golfing with his new BFF apparently.
Oh my god.
And when working, I mean, having a job. Ooh.
Hey, I didn't want to fucking work, okay?
But
I had to.
But WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 were pretty awesome. So I was watching that, of course, where we were here at the house. Family event, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't invite anybody over. It was, the wife, kid, and I, and we were watching that. But I did advance more in Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse, on the Switch.
Nice.
I forgot how, like that game has fucking difficulty spikes.
Really? Ah.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, you gotta remember, it is a OG Xbox game.
Nah.
So sometimes, like, a difficulty spike might just be that the gameplay is kind of basic. you know, in parts and stuff, and the enemies definitely have an advantage over you as the game goes on. You are equipped with weapons, you know, like you could throw his hand, he can use his head as a bowling ball, as a remote bomb. He can pull out a spleen, or I think it's a spleen or his kidney, and you can throw that as a bomb or grenade. And then he has this massive fart. And
it's the one that like
it stuns everyone around you, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I've been advancing through that, and let's see, was that all I've been playing? Absolutely not! Super Earth, baby! I got a copy, a physical fucking copy.
He finally fucking joined us.
I'm gonna make sure. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure it's fucking.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's focused. Yes.
He fucking finally joined us.
I did. So I picked this up. What is it, Saturday?
I think it was Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I installed it today. I was doing a lot of yard work and shit this weekend too. I installed it and I played the first two missions, or not first two missions. I played my first two missions.
Yeah.
I am so fucking pissed that the automatons or whatever they're called are done. I was like, I wanted violence. I wanted a piece of that. And I'm like 2 days late. Or a day late. I don't know. But
I know.
But Helldivers 2 is so fucking fun. The intro cinematic
I know
is so
it's so fucking great.
I was waiting for would you like to know more? Like from Starship Troopers, you know? Oh my gosh, dude, the game is so fucking fun. So I don't know how it works for everyone, if everyone has like a first mission kind of like same experience. But I just picked a place and I was by myself and I did good. I did mission complete, didn't die at all. And then I jumped into my second mission and squatted up with 3 other fucking strangers. No one was mic'd up, but I heard people screaming. Yeah. So I ran and I was like, let me help you! And I ran over there and I was like, I had my fucking machine gun, right? And I'm like, doom, 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 Super Earth, bitches! You know, I was going crazy and shit. So, my fucking teammate killed me with his zap gun.
It's gonna happen a lot.
I know, dude. And I was standing to the side of him. It was either his zap gun or his like flying drone that killed me.
Honestly, you can't be mad at him because it's accidental.
Well, yeah,
you're gonna end up killing a lot of people.
He spawned me in. I saw him as soon as it happened. He pulled out a request for reinforcements. I was like, all right, respect,
dude. You're gonna learn that reinforcements code.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just gonna be like, and done.
Yeah,
that's how much you're gonna have to reinforce.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. There's gonna be a difficulty spike from 3 to 4.
Oh,
like the level difficulty.
Oh, I'm already on 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then
I kicked ass. I kicked ass on the fucking mission, dude.
Oh, okay. Good.
I was
good.
Yeah. No, I was doing objectives. I was saving fucking people. I feel like, okay, so you know how like Chivalry 2, I am like, yeah. I'm the same way with Helldivers, and I gotta say, fucking bugs don't stand a chance.
Oh, bugs are easy until like 8. Automatons are just fucking hard all the time. So just know that.
Someone in a group chat I'm in was like, dude, it was like fucking Nam. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm fucking loving Helldivers 2. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, maybe we should have Reggie on like tomorrow and we'll just live stream Helldivers tonight. Well, I don't know, it sounds like a good idea, but then I was like, no, just fucking be an adult, stick to your plans.
Right.
I just want to play it so bad. It's fucking embarrassing.
I'm glad you fucking got it though. Dude, I really want to fucking jump in with you.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking for a physical copy forever. And people will be fucking snatching them up and selling them for higher prices on eBay and shit. But I was at Target on Saturday getting some necessities, like fucking, you know, like legit shopping. And I was not going to walk by, because usually what I do when I go to Target is I will get what I need, and then I'll be like, oh no, I'm walking down the toy aisle. Oh, how'd I get here? And then Excuse me. And then I end up in the game section, as well.
By accident.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. But it was just me and my daughter, and she was like, "Dad, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm getting an attendant for this game." I told her, I was like, "Stay here, don't move," and I like moved her to where she was in front of the game.
So nobody else could see it?
So nobody else could see it. Why, you might be asking? Because this was the last copy left, and it was the display copy.
Oh, fuck, are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I got it. But then, I thought my PS Plus membership was expired.
Turns out it wasn't.
Turns out I've had it for like almost a year. And I'm like, shit! I've let it go to waste. I didn't know I had it still.
Right?
Fuck. So, yeah. Yeah, Helldivers 2 is pretty fucking great.
Telling you.
But again, dude, I'm glad. I'm a physical collector, guys. I mean, a lot of you have seen the video of why I collect it, and you should too. Mm-hmm. That whole tagline's so super Earth now that I think about it. Why we collect physical, and you should too. No, but it's been great. And then also too, might as well just fucking plug it while we're here. My PS1 Hidden Gems video is up. It's been up since Friday. So, talked about these games here. I recorded way too much fucking footage and gameplay footage of these games.
Nah, I feel like it was the right amount.
Oh, no. That's what I displayed.
Oh.
I recorded like 4 hours of game footage.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Who else wants to see all of it?
Yeah, no, I told Brittany, I was like, I gotta go, get some game footage for whatever, and she was like, oh, is this your excuse to go play games? And I was like, no, I'm serious. I gotta do it. It's for B-roll, and it's to show people what I'm talking about, and da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did like how the video all came together. I was nervous too. For those of you who have seen it, I was really nervous about the putting in the intro cinematic for Tiny Tank.
Really?
Because it's long. It's like a couple minutes.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, damn, is this not keeping up with, like, because the video is paced at a certain, like, I edited it together to be like kind of fast paced, but like let things kind of sit for a minute.
Yeah.
But everyone in the comments was like, dude, that fucking Tiny Tank game, bro. Tiny Tank. That intro had me. Roll the fuck over or whatever.
Yeah.
What does ROFL mean? Roll on the floor?
Rolling on the floor laughing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it should be ROTFL then, right?
I mean, it's like, how, most acronyms remove the A.
I speak it English.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed that Tiny Tank segment.
Dude, fucking Tiny Tank's a fucking amazing game. Amazing game.
It sucks that I didn't know about it. I missed out on playing that.
Oh, dude, apparently, well, look, and that's the thing that I like about making these like hidden gem videos. There's pros and cons to these, and we can maybe even talk to Reggie about it when we get him on. But the pros are definitely showing games that are totally glossed over, or maybe games that deserve like a revisit.
Yeah.
And that weren't necessarily appreciated at the time that they were brought out, right?
Right.
So a lot of people were like, bro, I've never heard of these games before. It's great. And I was like, yes, that is what I wanted to do. But also, like, some people are like, oh, when people do hidden gems videos, then those prices of those games skyrocket, this and that and stuff.
True.
I mean, it does happen, but I wouldn't say it's all because of a hidden gem video. It also, depends on like for instance, I talked about Jet Moto 2. Jet Moto 2 sold enough to get a greatest hits edition. And that's what I have, the greatest hits edition. Oh. So again, it might have just been a title that was glossed over through history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like through the years, rather. So, like, yeah, so like the supply and demand for everything that I talked about was like, it's pretty good. I mean, you could go on to any fucking used game website right now and pretty much find whatever I was talking about. And I like how I put the price, the CIB price.
Oh yeah, that was a good touch.
That was all pulled from pricecharting.com last Thursday when I was finishing up the edits.
Oh.
Or no, Friday. Normally I fucking upload at like 9 a.m. or whatever on Friday, and I was sitting here like, fuck, I gotta give this up. Oh, fuck, I'm so behind. And I felt so much pressure because I felt bad because people were getting used to me uploading on Fridays, and I was like, I don't want to let these motherfuckers down. You know, I was like, fuck.
Hey, they're on your time. Okay.
No. I'm here for them. But yeah, man, that video's been doing great, and I think I'm gonna do a part 2 in some time for the PS1. I'll revisit that.
Part 2.
Part 2.
There you go.
Part 2. I don't know.
That was so throaty. Ew.
Part 2. Part Mountain Dew.
Oh god.
All right, that's enough of that shit.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, this episode of the NSquared podcast is going to be live stream only. There will be no audio only version of this, simply because there's not going to be any audio that I can save from this phone call, or not phone call, fucking. God, I'm so stuck in the fucking 90s.
Oh my god. This video call.
Video call. There we
There you
go.
You old
Gosh.
man.
Dude, you remember when it was like
Pepperidge Farm, remembers?
Pepperidge Farm remembers? When your parents had like the fucking phone dock, and you'd get the phone while it was on the cord, and there'd be a fucking giant number pad for it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there would be like a little LCD screen that was like green, like the Game Boy, and it would say like what number was calling.
Uh-huh.
There was a time when that thing, the screen, people were like, what if we could put a fucking video screen there and we could fucking talk to people and see them? And now we just fucking pick up the phone and fucking FaceTime someone.
Whatcha?
Yeah.
Just like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then when we get the FaceTime call, we're like, ugh, really? I gotta answer this fucking FaceTime right now? When before, we'd be like, it would be so cool in the future.
Nowadays, you're just like, just text me like everybody else.
Right? Oh my gosh. But yeah, man. Oh my gosh. Should we catch up with the chat? Let's catch up with the chat real quick and say hi to all these beautiful motherfuckers in the Chizat. Josh, why don't you?
All right. So, Lock PSB says, I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and it was a fucking bitch, and now I have a gamer's block and can't play anything else. Damn, that sucks.
Oh, that's like getting over an ex.
Yeah.
You just feel fucking sad and empty inside, and you're like, I don't know what to do with my life
I
now.
know. Just go sit in a corner for a little bit and you'll be fine.
Yeah. The Arkansas picker, we already read that one. Go ahead with collecting the box.
Yeah, he says, been trying to what? Bring Final Fantasy 14, okay, online to get ready for the next expansion. They still have expansions for that? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try it though. But I think there's a subscription for it, isn't there?
I think so, yeah.
Damn.
Whoa, what was that noise?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Did y'all?
No, what was that noise? The computer did...
made
I got a message. I got a DM. Oh, that's what it was. It was just my wrestling coach.
Alright, so collecting the boxes, LMAO, same. Lamau.
Playing with himself.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Rogers with those cry laugh emojis. And then collecting the box has 3 dots. Collecting the box, what are you doing right now?
Playing with himself.
Fucking A.
Lock BSB says cojones. Oh, wait, no, cajonas. Okay. What the Rat Zombie says, what the fuck, Josh?
Yeah, I already heard that
I
one.
speak my mind.
At least he doesn't have...
Nuts on his chin. What the fuck?
Where... I don't remember. I don't know. And then Red Zombie says it was so good.
I can't remember what we were talking
Was
about.
it Taco Bell? Did you
Probably.
already like fucking inhale that shit, bro?
It's either the Taco Bell or playing with
Oh,
yourself.
no. Mania.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Mania. Yeah, 'cause we have a new chatter. Dark Infinity says,
What's up?
step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
You
Nope,
gotta do it
nope,
right.
Nope.
You gotta do
All
it
right,
right.
hold on.
Gotta do it right. Ew.
Got a coat throat.
God. Do it.
Do it. Oh, yeah. Gotta do that to warm up. Oh, yeah. Step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Let's practice that a lot.
Too many times. Retro Tiburon.
Tiburon.
What?
Tiburon.
I think,
It's Spanish.
is it? I thought
Yeah.
Tiburon was a fucking... It sounds so like spacey and far out.
It's shark.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up? Retro... You go ahead and say it.
Tiburon.
Yeah. What if he's like, no, it's Tiburon?
Well,
Nick-
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
What does Tiburon mean?
Shark.
Oh, okay, Retro Shark. Yeah, well, there you go.
Pretty cool.
Dark Infinity says that's just part of his arsenal. Nightmerica.
What's up?
boys? I'm back again. Well, welcome back, bro.
Yeah.
For democracy.
Yeah.
I think we know where we're getting at here in the
Right.
chat. Oh my gosh, there is so much to catch up on.
Oh my god.
There is so much to catch up on. We are just going. Let's just say hi to everyone. Yeah. Sorry, guys. We fucking delayed reading the chat so much.
I know.
Dark Infinity says physical forever. Unfortunately, they don't make physical PC games anymore. Miss
know.
those big boxes from the olden days. I have. Is StarCraft right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the last physical fucking PC game I have. It's not quite big box. This is the battle chest, like the mini version of it. But
I mean, still, compared to games.
oh, you know
nowadays-
what? I actually have a couple more physical PC games.
Oh, shit.
I don't think half of them are playable anymore though. So I have Advanced Tactical Fighters. It's a jet simulator. Jumpstart Second Grade. This was mine from fucking second grade. I also have Spell It Deluxe.
Oh,
Again,
my
mine from
God.
when I was like 6.
Classics.
Yeah, and then Whiplash. It's you know what? This is like the predecessor to fucking Hot Wheels Unleashed. Really,
Dude, the fucking
the
like,
tracks on that game are nuts.
It's like, learn how to spell. Grade 2. Fucking Whiplash with the Whiplash. Alright, so.
Yeah, those were just some of my original PC games from way back when. All right. All right, let's go ahead and call Reggie.
I know, he's probably been waiting for a good minute.
He's probably not. Oh shit, it's 7:23.
Yeah.
Fuck. Let's call Reggie. All right.
Poor Reggie.
I know. Locke says, here, read.
Yeah, I got it.
read. Oh damn, those popped up quick.
He said, I got that StarCraft box, but it was bigger. Oh, he says his was bigger, Nick.
No, it's true. The one I have is the mini one.
All right, and it says, does that one have that strategy guides too, or have the strategy guides too?
Yes, they're mini strategy guides though.
Ooh. Night America says, I've been on a physical Xbox 360 collection lately. Got like 30 or more on the way from eBay. Damn. Physical is best. Fuck yeah. Don't tell me it happened again.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just keep going.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
All right, I want to try to read some of the other stuff so we can catch up. Night America says, you need to check Evil Dead on PS1, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, he commented that on your video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Lock PSP says, Zoom. Zoomers. Nah, we're not Zoomers. We're too old for that. And then Dark Infinity says, Tesla was talking about how people would have cell phones back in the 1930s or whenever. Oh, yeah. Like Nikolai Tesla.
Huh? What?
Nikolai Tesla was talking about how people could have had phones like way back when.
Oh.
Like 1930s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lock PSB says, where's Reggie? I'm here for the radical one.
What the fuck, Locke? Nah, I told him on Twitter. He was like, ooh, Reggie's gonna be there. I'm definitely tuning in. I was like, no, Locke, you tune in for me.
Locke says, we need a 360 hidden gems guide. What would you consider a hidden gem on 360?
A hidden gem?
Yeah.
Fucking Splatterhouse 2010.
Oh, there you go. There's one.
Fucking easy, dude.
Unfortunately, I didn't play enough Xbox 360 to tell you my picks. Because I played like Halo and shit like that. Call of Duty.
What? Sorry, I've fucking spaced out. What?
Oh, just call him. Call him. I was saying that I didn't play enough games on 360, Xbox 360, to be able to say, oh, this is a hidden gem.
Oh. Yeah, no, Splatterhouse, I think, either on fucking Xbox 360 or PS3 is a straight up hidden gem. Gosh, what's another one? Dark Sector is a good one. I don't know if like the Fear games are considered hidden gems because they sold pretty well.
Yeah, they were super popular.
But they fucking like died. They died off.
I know. I always wanted them to make a remake so I could try it out. But, oh well. Or at least continue it.
Yeah. Shadow of the Damned, a Suda 51... is it 51? Suda 51? I think that's right. That game's fucking crazy. Damn, the last Splatterhouse I played was back in... Oh, fucking Reggie! Alright, hold on, guys. Fucking... It's calling on my phone and on Messenger. Reggie!
Nick, how are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I cannot see you just yet.
Oh, fuck!
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Try clicking that.
Oh, okay. Turn on video. Oh, I'm clicking it.
Nope. Okay. Damn it. Why is it doing it now?
I don't know. This is stupid.
This is the exact same thing that happened last time. We were able to get the call to go through and video to go through, and then when we try to do the call again, it just did not work.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So the viewers... Oh, go ahead.
You guys gotta use StreamYard, man. That's the way everybody's doing. StreamYard.
StreamYard. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, me neither.
That's the easiest one to use. It's the one with like the solo of the duck on it, and you can do 3 screen. I mean, you can. It's really easy to use. You can do like close up screen and all that stuff, and I believe it's free. But
okay.
We'll worry about that for the next time, I guess.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
Yeah, Zoom is starting to charge for over 40 minutes and everything, so it's pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying. So I'm trying to see if we can get us on here too.
Let me see here.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. Let's go ahead and... Where's the webcam? Why is it down there? Okay. Oh, there we go. So, okay. So our fans... Not fans. Fucking viewers. God damn it. Get out of your ass, Nick. Our viewers will be able to see both of us. We will be both on the video. But we can see you. You cannot see us.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on either. I am technologically inept. But we are glad to have you on the show, Reggie.
Right, appreciate it.
Oh yeah, well thank you, man. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule, being so radical and all. So for those of you in the chat, guys, who are unfamiliar with Reggie, why don't you go ahead and tell our guests what you're about?
Well, I am a retro gaming content creator on YouTube. My handle is The Radical One. I've been on YouTube, I believe, excuse me. I've been on YouTube for around, I guess, almost 10 years now. I first started as a guest on Metal Jesus channel. He's a good friend of mine. I guest started on his channel for a couple of years, and then I finally decided to do my own channel, which finally reached 100,000 subscribers. So happy about that. But mainly, I talk about retro games or hidden gems. There are a lot of games that people don't know about. my knowledge has been like the key factor for my channel, like bringing like knowledge to people that didn't know about certain games and things like that. So, and top 10 hidden gems, things like that. Pickups videos was a lot of people's favorites, you know. So, and I've been doing that on my own since 2018. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. What was probably like the one thing that got you going? Man, I should start a YouTube channel.
It was just more of the fans like hitting me up, asking me to do my own channel after I was on Jason's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was on Jason's channel, like I guess I was an immediate hit. Like people liked me, and they were asking if I had my own channel. It kind of took me a while to start my own because I wanted just to be a guest on Jason's channel, so I had to put in the work. But after a while, yeah, I know, right? After a while, they talked me into it, and I started my own channel. And basically, it was pretty basic. You know, like, hey guys, I got this new game. You know, I would point the game and show it like that, and pick up another game or something like that. And then I hit 10,000 subscribers. I was like, dude, 10,000 subscribers for not doing those type of videos. If I step it up, you know, maybe I could get a real following here, which I did. And what was funny was Jason told me to start monetizing my videos and everything like that. So I started monetizing them, and I didn't really know too much about it. And then next thing you know, when I started to take the channel serious, there was like $300 and something in my account. I was like, what? $300 for these videos? Are you serious? So I said, shoot. So I took that money, got some more games. It was kind of funny. But you know, I thought like if I can make money at just talking about games, I mean that's pretty awesome. So you know, that's where it pretty much started from. You know, I announced the Patreon back in 2018, and I told everybody if you guys are on this Patreon, I'll take the channel serious. Like I'll make sure I'm giving quality videos at least up to my standards of what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like when Jason had told me this, when you do a video, you know, and you have a certain level, you want to keep it to that level or step it up higher. And an example of that is like when I just showed you guys that game, like, hey, this is a game I picked up or whatever, like that, right? Well, stepping it up would be adding B-roll to it, like showing footage of the game. Because one thing people hate is when you show a game or something and then they have to go to another video and look what it was. You know what I mean? So adding that extra quality to my channel really helped. And I never, ever took it back from that. You know, I always add B-roll to what I'm talking about. Whether I'm talking about going shopping, they'll show me in a store, stuff like that. So people really appreciate that. So I kept it to that level, and I got a good fan base from it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, guys, too, in the chat and everyone who's watching, the videos that I've been putting out, you can thank Reggie very much so for helping me out with those videos. He's been giving me a lot of pointers and stuff, and I gotta say, Reggie is probably one of the best mentors and friends that I could have ever asked for and had the luck of being friends with. And that's genuine. I've gotten so much advice and guidance because, I mean, I can look back at like my older videos when I started and I'm like, man, what the hell was I doing? You know? But this time around, I should probably put Reggie as a producer in the credits.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you for all the time that you've spent, you know, giving me advice and all that stuff. You know, you're a great dude, and you know, everyone, if whoever's watching right now, make sure to give Reggie a sub over on his channel and whatnot. But we want to go ahead and ask Reggie, what have you been playing lately?
Oh man, so it's always a plethora of stuff. I mean, it's hard to play a lot of games because I'm always trying to like prepare videos for everybody. Like, I have like 10 videos. I'm like halfway done through each of them, but they're like pickups, top 10s, and all that stuff. But the games I've had a chance to play, thankfully, and this is kind of weird too because I've been anticipating playing this game for a while, and as soon as the game came out, everybody started bugging me, like, you know, like doing this. And I said, dude, this game is out. All I want to do is play this game. You guys want to bug me before, but now this game is out. Everybody's hitting me up. And that was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
There you go.
Dude, everybody was hitting me up. Like, dude, what the hell's going on? Like, going on trips, doing all this stuff, going out of town, needing help. I was like, dude, I just want to play this game in peace, you know. But that was one of them. The next one is Grand Blue Fantasy. I'm having a great time playing that one. I actually just got through playing that one before this call. Dead by Daylight is always a winner for me. And it's always it's kind of weird. I mean, those are the main games I'm playing right now, I would say. But I'm always going through different games, I would say, just to, get a little feel for them because I want to play certain games later. But the main three were those ones, or Rebirth, Rebirth, and Grand Blue Fantasy, and then Dead by Daylight.
So that game in the middle that you just said,
Grand Blue.
Grand Blue.
Yeah, what is that? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy actually started as a mobile game, from what I heard back in the day, and it's an action RPG where you play as these people. I don't want to go too much over the story, but you play as a crew on an airship, and you're trying to rescue a friend, this dragon princess, and she gets kidnapped from your party. She's like a real powerful character before she gets kidnapped. Like I was mopping up enemies easy with her, but once they took her away, man, the game got a little bit tough. And it's a battle. It's a battle of like trying to rescue a friend. You're on these airships. It's like in medieval times and everything like that. It's like a fantasy medieval.
Yeah.
Very, very colorful looking game. Beautiful looking game. What's cool is it's an action RPG, so a lot of people will probably be able to get into it because I know a lot of people don't like turn-based type stuff these days. If you like action RPGs, just like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, very similar. But this one's kind of cool because you can actually play co-op online, which is what I was doing today with Joel from Media Glitch, and we're leveling up our characters so the game will be easier for us. So yeah.
There you go. What platform is that on?
It's on PS4 and PS5.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
Cool. Is it free to play or do you have to buy it?
You gotta buy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I bought it. I think I spent like $100 to get the deluxe edition, but I didn't mind it so much because obviously you get the game. It came with a soundtrack and an art book, which I feel is basic for collector's editions or limited editions. So I was happy with that. So
right on.
It's funny because I've heard of the game. And I've seen it at GameStop a few times.
Sure you have.
No, for real.
I'm trying to be Mr. Cool.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I it here in arm's reach. Oh, it's up there.
Yeah. It's funny because like I've always thought it was a turn-based game, so I've always avoided it. I didn't know it was an action RPG.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the new one called Unlink is an action RPG. The one that came out before called Versus, that's a fighting game, which is really good too. But this game is a lot of fun, man. Like it's really, really, really well done.
Cool. So, speaking of like collecting and collector's editions and stuff, what would you say is probably your favorite item in your game collection?
Oh, I was gifted years ago for one of my favorite games. One of my friends Fabricio, he used to make these wooden boxes. And he's retired them because they're hard to make. But he would actually burn art of a game into these wooden boxes. And he made me one of Steambot Chronicles, which is probably my favorite game of all time on PS2. It's a sandbox, robot, steampunk. It's just all. It's kind of like hard to kind of like say what Steambot Chronicles is.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome game. I'll leave it at that. And then he made that for me, and it's basically a wooden box. So I put everything I have that's related to Steambot Chronicles in that box. So Steambot Chronicles came out with a pre-order bonus, which was a harmonica, because in the game you can actually play music on the streets and make money. And you can make money in that game, like doing odd jobs and stuff like that. But making money with music is one of the main things you could do. And the harmonica is one of the main instruments you use. So it came with like this mini harmonica for the pre-order bonus.
Oh,
and I
cool.
put that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I put that in the box along with a demo disc. The semi sequel that came out on PSP and some other stuff for it, and it just has all my Steambot Chronicles stuff in it, and it has the art of the game on the box. It's all edged and nice and neat. I did a video on it years ago, but yeah, that's probably my favorite item in my collection, definitely.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So I know we had pretty much like the same feeling for a potential panel at a potential convention for, keeping physical alive and so on and so forth, right? So I want to know, do you collect demo discs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I do. I took it in. So here's the funny thing. I used to collect demo discs all the time back when I was younger, with the PlayStation Magazine or any of the demo discs that are just dedicated to certain games. I would collect all that stuff because back then I just felt like it was cool to have the history, like the videos, the interviews, the codes. certain games that didn't get released in America on those demo discs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I end up like I don't remember what happened to them, but after I got out of the military, I got lost all that stuff.
Oh,
but now I'm slowly earning it back. I pretty much got a lot of it back, thankfully. Because not everybody's at the demo disc. It's just a certain, I don't know, there's certain people who want them, so I don't have like too much competition for them. But there are mostly the PlayStation Magazine ones, the Underground discs, if you guys remember those for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly, and a lot of games that didn't even come out like you guys remember that movie called Titan AE?
Oh yeah, Titan After Earth, man.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's just the music was kind of weird in that movie. But
it had Creed in it. It had Higher by Creed.
The game was supposed to come out for PlayStation, and there's a demo disc out for it that you could get for it, and that's the only way you can really play the game because they canceled it after the movie flopped and everything. So
Oh, wow.
I like collecting that type of stuff as well, But demo discs, they're fun because mainly demo discs. I think the heart of it for me was when I got my PlayStation. I mean, we didn't have like a lot of money to buy games like all the time, so those demo discs really came through for us. Multiple games on there. Me and my friends, I remember us playing them. Remember us hooking the Game Shark to them, trying to unlock extra levels and stuff like that. Hilarious. But we had a lot of fun with playing those demo discs.
Yeah. I remember there's one, I believe it was a PlayStation Underground demo disc that I had. It was, I think it came with my PlayStation, as a matter of fact. It had Einhander on it.
Einhander?
Yeah.
I've never heard of one.
Yeah, so Josh doesn't know about it. It's a horizontal bullet hell shooter game.
Yeah.
And
it's very difficult.
Very difficult and very expensive to this day. And I remember playing the crap out of that demo. And one day, I specifically remember I was playing the demo, and my mom came into my bedroom because I had asked her if we could go to Toys R Us that day. So she goes and she's like, all right, you ready? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And my main mission was to get that game. And we go to Toys R Us, and they did not have it. And I never saw it at any store for, I don't know why. I never saw it. I don't know if the sales were bad for it or not, but I never found it. So I always just played that first level of the demo over and over and over again. And, once I started collecting and everything, I had really missed my window to get it at a decent price. I remember going to Jason's house back in 2020, and at that time he had the Polymega. And he was like, dude, check this out. So I was playing Einhander on the Polymega, and I was like, dude, oh my gosh, I want this so bad. I want the game. But I was like, so you're going to let me borrow this, right?
Oh my God.
But yeah, the demo discs, I think are so cool. They're like almost a time capsule. They
are.
Yeah.
It's like what's hot at that time. I remember. Yeah. Do you remember the Pizza Hut demo discs?
I do.
Yeah, the blue one in particular was my favorite one. There was a blue and a green one from what I remember. And the blue one had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on it. And
great game.
Great game. And not only that, though, those demo discs had like different intros on them, like different like whole menu layouts. So they were always very unique and everything like that. And your story reminded me of a story myself, but I wanted to talk about like how you went to Toys R Us and you couldn't find Einhander. But back then, you didn't know what store would have what games, which was crazy. You know what I mean? You took a gamble on going to a store and hoping your game was there. Einhander was probably just sold at maybe Software or whatever, Software, whatever that's.
Et cetera.
Okay. Probably sold there or just Babbage's or whatever like that. So definitely a weird game to find. My story similar to that was back when I was a kid. I was really the first fighting game I got good at was Fatal Fury 2 in the arcade. So I love that game. I beat it with one quarter. I mean, not at first, but I got good enough to beat it with one quarter.
Damn.
Which meant a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
And everything.
It's impressive.
But my dad said he's gonna take me to KB Toy Stores and we're gonna get a game I wanted. And the game I wanted was Fatal Fury 2. And it was rare for my dad to take me to get a game, so I was so excited. I finally talked to him to take me to get a game. We went to KB's Toy Stores. They were closed, so my dad even waited there an hour for them to open.
Oh,
went in that store. Yeah, we went in that store, didn't have the game, dude. I was like, dude, I was so sad. I was like, dude, all I wanted was Fatal Fury 2. You just didn't know where to get these games from.
Yeah.
End up getting Tiny Toons Buster Bust Loose, which actually is a great game too that I love. But I didn't get Fatal Fury 2 until years later on the Super Nintendo. Like, I finally got it, and they got it in boxes to go all out for it. But that was just a story similar to yours, I wanted to say. But yeah.
Yeah, it sucks because, you know, like, I mean, at the time in the 90s, you know, I was born in 91. So, like, I didn't know you could go to Funko Land and browse through, you know, a catalog and be like, I want to order this game or whatever. I always thought, you know, whatever was on display is what's for sale, and that was all you could get, you know. I thought I was the cool kid on the block, for example, going to a Funko Land and buying a Japanese pack of Pokemon cards. You know, I was like, oh, check it out. But yeah, like, I look back and I'm like, if I knew how does that phrase go? If I knew now, or no, if I knew then what I know now.
Yeah, there
you know. I would go back in a heartbeat and be like, okay, I'm getting these games. I know where to get them from, so on and so forth. Oh man.
But as they say, hindsight is 20/20.
Oh yeah. It's tough. So speaking of PlayStation, I guess I'm keeping it relevant, so to speak, with PS1. You know, with my video just coming out on PS1 Hidden Gems. You're familiar with Hidden Gems. Number one, what would you say is your top hidden gem for the PS1? I know it's a tough question.
You know, on top of my head, there's one game I can think of, Covert Ops, Nuclear Dawn is a hidden gem. It's a game that plays like Resident Evil, but it's actually an action game. You ever seen that movie Under Siege with Part 2 with Steven Seagal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like a remake of that movie and everything like that on PS1. And the intro to that game is it's action-packed, but it's freaking hilarious because you guys remember some of the bad acting on cinematics back in the PS1 era. Yeah. You're on a chopper with your team, and these enemies, they shoot a missile at you, and you see the missile coming. Your guy jumps out of the chopper right before he gets hit. Like, he jumps out of the chopper, and he lands onto the train under him. So it's like crazy action.
Oh man.
It's insane, but it's so good. I love that game, but nobody really knows about it, and it's still a cheap game. You get it for $10 to $20. I was gonna do a hidden gems on it a couple years ago, and I had a list of videos. Games I was doing PS1 hidden gems, because most of the hidden gems I've done are on Jason's channel. You know, I was talking about them on his channel. I've only done like Game Boy Advance hidden gems or Game Boy games on my channel. I've never done a PS1 on my channel, so I was thinking about doing that, and I probably should do it pretty soon here, because a lot of the games I talk about are still pretty hidden. But yeah, that is one of them. I would say Covert Ops, Nuclear Dawn. I would say Chaos Break is another hidden gem that a lot of people don't know about. It's a survival horror. There's a lot I could talk about, but I'll just go with those two for now.
Yeah, save the rest for your video.
Yeah,
save the rest for your video.
You gotta have some content.
Yeah. Josh, are you pretty familiar with PS1?
Somewhat. Like, the only one I can really remember that I played a lot was Omega Boost, so I don't know how much of a hidden
That's a good
gem
one.
that one would be considered.
Reggie, right now you're
sideways.
Yeah, you're sideways for us.
Yeah, somebody called me, and while we were talking, how's it look now?
There we go. Yeah, much better. So for you is Omega Boost.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I know a lot of people who haven't played it, but then, like, in the gaming community, I've met a lot of people who have and who've heard of it. So I don't know how much of a quote unquote hidden gem it would be. So,
right.
I would consider it a hidden gem because the people who made that game are the makers of Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah.
And they haven't really got to make any other games besides those games. So that was one of the unique games they got to make outside of the Gran Turismo series. I love Omega Boost because I love the intro that it has like a FM.
Yes,
right.
I was right about to say that.
Well done.
Oh yeah, I was right about to say that.
Dude, it was such a for a PS1 intro.
Yeah,
intro.
well,
it's fucking
that is like the
great.
blueprint if they were to ever make a live action Gundam movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Dude, the gameplay was so much fun. The bosses, I just wish there was more bosses. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
I never came across that game up until late last year. Remember, Josh?
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a local game shop here in town that's like a real hole in the wall. I had never heard of it. It's far on the east side of town, like 40 minutes away from me. But my wife and I were on that side of town that day, and I saw it, and I saw the price. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks, and I was like, I don't know. Ended up walking to the car, and as I got in the car and we drove off, I was like, damn, I should have bought it. You know, damn it. And she's like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, but I you know, I'm a married man. You know, I've got kids.
You got responsibilities.
I got responsibilities, so I felt bad. You know, I don't want to. I'm very much minded that way. And then she's like, "Well, get it then. You should have got it." So I fucking turned the car around, went back to the game store, picked it up, and I sent a picture to Josh because I know that's one of his favorites from his childhood. And so now I have it. You know, I never got to play it when I was younger. And I gotta say, that's like the beautiful thing about being an adult, is being able to indulge in things that you missed out on as a kid.
Yeah.
That was always a zeitgeist for other kids, but for you, it wasn't within your realm or your grasp. You know, like I grew up as a Genesis kid, but I loved the shit out of the Super Nintendo. And a lot of my neighbors had Super Nintendos. I think there were 2 Sega Genesis kids on the block, me and another kid. And then there were 3 Super Nintendo kids on the block. So we would always, you know, it was almost like, whose house are we going to today? What are we going to play today? You know, and that was always fun. And now as an adult, I can go and pick up a game that I always wanted as a kid that I never had as an adult. So leading with that, Reggie, are there games like that you've gone and sought after?
That you missed out on?
That you missed out on?
Yeah. So, you know, when I finally got my first main job, you know, which was military. Dude, when I got my paycheck, man, I started going back and getting all the games I missed out on for years. You know, I've always been a guy kind of grew, like, I had a strong love for PlayStation. Even though I got a Nintendo, Super Nintendo as a kid, I kind of fell off from those systems. But when PlayStation came out, that opened up it was a whole different ball game. And
Same here.
I went back and got a lot of the games before they got super expensive like they are today. And what's funny about playing the PS1 system is that I feel like I'm a teen again playing that stuff. Like I'm just like I'm in a time capsule. It's so amazing. The games that were made back then were just different from what was made today. I mean, I felt like the developers got enough of what they wanted of their ideas to those games. I would say, you know, they're very nostalgic. You know, one game I played before the remake came out last year was Star Ocean: The Second Story on PS1.
Yeah.
And dude, I played that game on its 20th anniversary, even though they didn't celebrate the 20th anniversary. I decided to do so by playing the game on PS1. And dude, it was like I was like back in time as a teenager. I felt like I was like back in the early 2000s. It was insane.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun, you know. So yeah, dude, I feel like I went all over the place with this answer.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, just more PlayStation stuff, I would say. But at the same time, I would say I started like collecting for everything when I found out about the prototype for the Retron 5 was coming out.
Okay.
So I found out about this all-in-one system that will be able to play 5 different game consoles. I said, that's amazing. So let me go ahead and get like
that's what I
like maybe 10 games each system to play on it. And back then, games were like dirt cheap. Like it was just like nobody cared. So I was getting all these games. And remember, it became an addiction. Like me and my buddy had this store. And I remember, like when the store was going slow, we said, "Hey man, let's close up shop, man. Let's go game hunting." And that's what we did. And we found like so much stuff, man. It was amazing times. Like people that hunt today, they'll never know how it was like when I was hunting for games, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was like beautiful. You know, even a couple of years before that, you know, you were finding Super Nintendo games at GameStop dirt cheap, like Mega Man X2 and X3 for like $5.99 or whatever like that. Like insane.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get rid of it, and that was the best time to hunt. So.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say it's a double-edged sword, you know, hunting for games back, you know, like how it was back then. Because like back then, you're super excited about it. You can find a lot of cheap games. You know, it was great. They were everywhere. But as they got more and more popular, it just made it so much more difficult to find what you wanted to find.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not gonna. I mean, the blame of that too. I mean, if you want to call it a blame, and I think that when there was a news report that about stadium events selling for $5,000. So next thing you know, everybody started looking at their games like $5,000 for a video game. Let me see if I got that game.
Yeah.
And they started looking at video games as a possible investment. Like most of us wanted to collect video games for ourselves because we generally love gaming. But then there's that other part of it that if a game is worth money, then this is an investment too. You know what I mean? Like how. Yeah. Remember, a friend said this. So then, no matter how you look at it, man. Like today, buying a game is an investment because it'll usually always increase in value unless it's a sports game or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And like that's opened up a lot of people to like going and collecting, and the more people in it, the more it gets crazier. The prices go up. And I mean, us talking about. I'm not trying to raise prices of games when I talk about them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give people knowledge of games that they can play or whatever like that. But people will try to blame me. Oh, Reggie, you're raising the price. It's like, how am I raising the price? I'm not selling it. You know what I mean? But they don't think like that. They go, oh, it's your fault.
I know. I mean, it's honestly the fault of the people who look at it as just an investment. A monetary investment. Because I view it as an emotional investment. I get to actually enjoy the game. That's why I keep my games when I purchase them. Because it's like if I ever want to replay them, they're there. But people who go out just to buy it so they can sell it later or have a collection that's worth a lot of money, they're the ones ruining it for everybody else.
Exactly, and they think that they could turn the game around immediately and get like so much money for it. You usually have to sit on games for them to become super valuable.
Right.
It takes years, generations, I would say. For them, gaming generations. For them to get like to a price that's probably you could maybe quadruple your money or more on it. But it's just not. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. Like, remember how everybody was hyped about limited run, and they were trying to like resell that stuff because they were so limited and everything.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Now look at limited run stuff now. No, that stuff is barely worth what it costs.
Right.
And it's like, man, the games that are going to be worth something are pretty much the games that are just like I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
It's going to be the games like Little Samson or the Flintstones one on the NES. It's like those type of games that sold like the amount of those copies out there is really small.
Games that are limited printed, but are not marketed as limited printed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Games that have like the 1,000 print runs or whatever like that. Those games will probably usually have the most value in the future when it comes to it because there's not that many of them, and the more people that keep that stuff, obviously the value will go up more. But the game collection you have will always be worth money, but some people think it's like it's going to take care of a house payment or something like that. That's possible. Depending on what you have, but still, trying to do that stuff now, it's like, whatever, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, and also too, I think it's funny because like we had mentioned earlier on before we had called you in about we had mentioned my video, right, and how like I had included the price of the games, CIB, and stuff like that, but we had mentioned and we had brought up how prices can fluctuate, after a video game gets covered on a YouTube channel or whatever. But it's not the fault of the person who's covering it. It's really the fault of the person exploiting its popularity or recent discovered popularity.
Yeah.
But I mean, like at the end of the day, it's a video game and whatnot. And it's a hobby. It's a piece of entertainment, no different than a movie. I mean, I guess it's a little different because it's interactive, but I mean, it goes across the board too. And I think the main component or blame, or maybe not main, but like at least 50% would be like WADA, or the companies who are grading everything and putting the actual like stamp of value on something. I'm a VHS collector, and once WADA started grading VHS tapes, I would go to it's called Bookman's down here, It would be like your Hastings or whatever, you know. Rest in peace, Hastings. But I used to get VHS tapes for like $2. $2 a piece. It was like a flat rate for VHS tapes. And then once WADA started grading them, I would go to Bookman's, and all of a sudden a $2 tape would be like $18 or $12.
They're inflating the prices. They're trying to manipulate stuff, which is insane. And they've been doing it for a lot of sealed games, and they got called out for it through a call. Jobs, I think that's his name, video that he made a couple years ago about them.
Yeah,
inflating prices on purpose. Because I remember when Nick, have you been to PRGE, Portland Retro Gaming Expo?
Unfortunately, not yet. I say not yet because I'm fingers crossed one day.
One day. Well,
one day.
I think 2018 or 19, WADA came to that show, and they were buying all the sealed games that people had.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, they were buying like all of like sealed stuff. They wanted it.
Yep.
And the reason they wanted it because what they were doing and everything like that, they were trying to inflate the value. Like we saw that Mario Brothers 64 going for like
it was like 10. Wasn't it like 10K?
Some ridiculous price. It was just so laughable, you know, whatever like that. So,
yeah.
These companies are trying to increase the. I mean, they're making people go crazy because everybody wants their stuff to be valuable. But you just can't. You gotta let that stuff like make its own value. You know, you can't force it. You know, but that's what a lot of people are trying to do, and that's what's kind of killing it. You know, for some of these collectors because a lot of these games are they have fair prices on them, but when people see stuff like that, they think everything is worth so much money, and they have inflated like reselling. They're inflated reselling prices, and then it turns people away. You know, you go to a convention. And you see the prices are all crazy. And it makes you like, damn, why did I even come here? No one's selling stuff at a fair price or a decent price. Everybody wants this super over the top value for everything, and it kills it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Nobody wants to negotiate prices anymore. It's like, nope, that's the price. You know, I'm not.
I know what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so like, I know what I got. Yeah, they're rude and everything like that. Like I usually, when I go to these guys, man, I see something that's price crazy. I'm like, okay, I may want this, but I look at them like this. Hey. Are you firm on the price? And that's a polite way or, opening the door for some kind of negotiation. Mm-hmm. If they're rude to you from saying that, you already know, like, yeah, this is bullshit and everything like that. But yeah, I feel like what I kind of do to kind of remedy that is pretty much like I'll bring trade to the show, you know, and I know how resellers think. I know what they like. They like stuff that they can move and sell. So you got to bring something that they like, that they could sell, and you could trade it for the item you want. And that's what we kind of did at one of the shows recently. And that's helped me a lot over the years. You know what I mean? Like, it's a smart way of kind of getting past this stuff. But obviously, you got to have some trade. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I forgot where I was going with this. In the long run, you know, it's just a way to kind of counter that stuff, man, because unfortunately, since a lot of these retro games aren't being sold in retail stores anymore, you got to deal with secondhand sellers. Right. So they can price stuff whatever they want. So you have to be kind of like prepared for that. Right. And thankfully, I've been smart enough to been prepared for that, or just buy these games before they got inflated with the prices, because I kind of knew it was going to happen. Like when people were collecting Super Nintendo and Genesis stuff years ago, I was already collecting like Game Boy stuff in box. You know, I was like way ahead. Like just like I already done Super Nintendo. I'm collecting this stuff now.
Right,
dude. I can show you guys my Super Nintendo collection back in there. It was insane. Like what I got. But thankfully, my knowledge of being a step ahead really kind of like protected me from dealing with like all these crazy prices that people have for stuff. You know, honestly, too, I don't mind spending money. You know, here and there, like you know, or whatever. But I definitely have to like the person if I'm going to spend money with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of these people are like, like I can't throw money with you because you're rude or weird or whatever like that.
But see, like that's also like the benefit. Like I was explaining to Josh, because Game On, this past Game On is only second convention ever. His first convention was Game On last year, which was really only like, 8 months ago? Not even a full year ago.
Yeah, it was not a full year, yeah.
And, you know, Josh, I told him, because we were invited as guests last year, and I told Josh too, I was like, you son of a bitch, I've been doing YouTube for almost 9 years. You hop on the podcast as a co-host, within a year you're invited as a guest. I did all the fucking groundwork. But
are you sure I wasn't the golden ticket?
Shut the fuck up.
hilarious.
I told him, I was like, Friday we're gonna do all of our hellos. We're gonna say hello to everyone.
Yeah.
And we're going to do our due diligence with saying hello to everyone and reestablishing relationships. But that's a very important thing, with familiar vendors and stuff. And you treat vendors good, and they're gonna treat you even better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, and Josh saw it firsthand. Like I would ask how much a game is, and they would say, for you, this.
Yeah.
But that's because I had earned my way to that. It's a process, and it's really like, it's really building a buyer seller relationship,
Yeah.
and not also, I mean, people can tell when you're trying to be, a little fake or whatever in person, trying to like maybe.
We've met some people like that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like these vendors, they know me and they know like I'm going to spend money, so they're going to give me a good deal. And, and vice versa. And, like I've had shout outs from vendors' pages, and I'll shout them out as well and stuff. But it, at the end of the day, we're all human, and you got to treat people, friendly and whatnot. And I got to say, like I've gotten really good deals just because I've been nice to people and talk with them, and
being real with
and
them.
being
100%.
real with them,
Yes. 100%. Dude.
But like even speaking to like what you were saying, there was a game I was after and Elvis was after, and that was Samurai Western. And
I was gonna bring this story up too.
yeah, yeah, man. And I really wanted that game, and I've wanted it for a long time. Because honestly, it reminds me of an anime. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that anime. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Well, just to let you know, the PS2 game of Samurai Champloo sucks. So avoid picking that up. You definitely pick up a Samurai Western. But what was funny, before I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you go for it.
Well, Elvis was looking for that game, and then I found out you were looking for the game, and we found it at Joel's booth. Out of all booths, Joel's booth, and a guy sold it for the Elvis, I think, for $120 or $20.
Mm-hmm.
And Elvis was super happy and everything like that. And you brought it up, saying you were looking for it, and I found another vendor who had it, but he wanted $175 for it.
What?
And I remember I was telling you,
Yeah,
you were going to pay around $120, $135 for it. So we were hoping that guy would come down a bit at the show, but he stayed firm.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that you would walk away with that game at the end of the show, because that game was fun, dude.
I know.
Really good.
And the fact that you said it's multiplayer is like
It is.
in Jason's video. It was like, because Josh and I are big proponents on couch co-op.
Oh yeah.
We've been running through for the last couple of years on the Master Chief Collection. And anytime there's a new beat 'em up that comes out, Josh comes over and we'll play the fuck out of whatever beat 'em up it is.
Like we played through Streets of Rage 4 like in one sitting.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, we call him best friend Josh on the show, but he's really my best friend.
Yeah.
Like he's always over, so it's like couch co-op is our thing. Anytime we can do it. But that was another reason why I really wanted that game. I was like, damn, this would be really fun to stream. Like playing it together and stuff.
Oh.
But unfortunately, that seller was firm, and it was a seller that I'm not totally there yet with as far as building a relationship. So, it happens.
It happens, and that's, like I said, that's where certain things will kind of help you out and everything, like bringing trade. Like Joel, this is a funny story, man. I actually told this the other day. I can't believe they put me in a spot. But Joel wanted this game. We went to a seller at the end of Saturday at recent Game On Expo. It was the end of the show on Saturday, and we went to this one seller, and Joel found this game he wanted, Dragon Warrior Part 2, complete in box for Nintendo, and it was going for $250. I'm like, ooh,
Damn.
ooh.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Woo!
That's how that stuff is collectible, because it's hard to find. And we went up to the guy, and I was talking, and I was like, man, that's a tough price, man. I asked him if he was firm on the price. He said, man, you know what, man? You polite. I'll do it for $200. I was like, whoa, okay.
Holy
That's
shit.
$200. Perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then what was funny, he had a game I wanted, like while I was talking to him, he had a game I wanted, and I said, how much is that? He said $50. I said, here you go, sold. So I already gave him the money, so he's feeling good or whatever.
There you
right?
go.
So we told Joel, me and Joel were gonna come back. We said, we'll come back, man. And how about this, man? Do you like trades, stuff you can move faster? He said possibly, and that was already a good sign. Okay, he's looking for trades, so something he can sell easier than what the item he's gonna sell. Perfect. So the next day, Joel he was supposed to come with me to back to the guys to get the game or whatever like that. We're gonna bring some trade. Joel had to do the panel. He had to do the Boulder's Gate panel, which he saw was insanely crazy.
Oh, super!
He looked at me, he said, Reggie, I'm leaving it up to you, man, to get this game for me. I was like, you asshole, man! You put me on the spot like this. Man. I gotta make sure I get the game for him and everything. It's hilarious. So we grabbed 3 games. One of them was Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi Part 3 for PS2.
Ooh, great fucking game. Great fucking
Parappa
game.
the Rapper Part 2, and one other game I can't remember, but we had those games. So I said, oh, these are the games that we'll trade. But I only want to trade one because one is worth about as much as that game was, at least to me. Yeah. So we went there, and the guy was gone, and he was on. They said he'll be back. I said, where is he at? Oh, he's on the floor looking for games. I said, oh God, he's not gonna be back for a while. So I said, hey, we were supposed to do a trade, man. Maybe you can kind of like hit him up on the phone and everything like that. So he said, what do you have for trade for this game? So we told him about the Dragon Warrior 200, but we wanted to trade for it possibly something they can move faster. And the first game I pulled out was Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3 because that game was like going for a lot of money on PS2. And he looked at it, he's like, whoa. But then he looked at it because the label had water damage on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it still was worth something, but it was like damage. But what was funny was, I didn't even notice, but when he opened up the case, there was a second case in there that was in better condition.
Oh,
you put the other case in there. I said, yeah, of course. So I knew that. I said, if you have a loose copy, you can just use that other insert and sell that copy easy. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
there you go.
Just for this. And we traded right across for it and everything like that. So I got Joel's game, and when Joel was at the panel, I went in there, and I remember I sat in the front seat. It might not have been the Boulder's Gate panel. It probably was another one. But anyways, he was in the panel room, and while he's on stage, he could see me in the front row, and I had my big jacket on, and I opened up my jacket, I pulled out the game, and started looking at it in front of him, like, oh my God. And he could see me, but he couldn't say anything. It was hella funny. And the people next to me like, oh my God, you got Dragon Warrior 2? I was looking for that. I said, yeah, I got it. So we're all looking at Joel's game, but I wanted to make sure that he got the game. So he had that feeling of accomplishment that he got the game. So he was really happy about that. That was another good moment. And what was funny, after that, my buddy Elvis, he saw like my haggling skills or whatever like that. He said, Reggie, man, because I owed him $40 because I have cash on me for a certain item, so he spotted me. He said, Reggie, you get these games for this price, man. Forget our debt. I was, oh man, you put me on the spot again. Yeah, dude, they used me. I was like, damn, dude, like, what am I? I'm nervous that it won't happen or whatever like that. I get nervous trying to have it these days, but I went up. I talked to the guy. Hey, are you firm? He said, what are you thinking? I'm thinking this price. He said, all right, yeah, let's do that.
Damn.
I got this game, and everybody was happy. So yeah, it was pretty funny. But I'm not used to like haggling like that these days. They're just trading.
Right. Yeah.
Like that.
Elvis is awesome, dude. It's funny to put you on the spot like that. Yeah.
That's our trade story for the recent event, which was nice, But just to let people who are watching know, just to kind of like always bring trade with you. Even Jeff Smash AT brought trade because I told him to bring trade to it.
Yeah.
The show. He's happy he did. He got $100 of extra money to spend.
There you go.
So it's fucking smart.
Yeah. It's funny because like for me, I'm such a collector, and like my collection is nowhere near like yours or Jason's or like obviously Hancock. Hancock is like S tier. Yeah, S plus tier with fucking collections, but like
collections.
Yeah, like I'm nowhere near you guys, but I collect what I want, right? So like it's hard for me to go like, okay, what could I trade? Because
it's a game you've been wanting for a while.
Yeah. Like I buy what I'm going to play and what I want here physically with me. So let me ask you, it's gonna be a little bit of a tough question, but like for someone in my position, and you say you recommend bringing trade, and it's someone who collects what they want. So how would you convince someone to bring trade in those shoes?
Well, it depends if you have duplicates of certain games or whatever like that too, because that obviously is another reason. But you got to look at it. If you bought a game and you haven't played it yet, like think about when you bought the game and how long it's been since you said you were going to play it or whatever like that. Because you might not have a desire to play it after a certain while. So those games might be games you want to move. That's how I do it, personally. So every year I look at certain games in my collection, whether I still want to play them or not, or if I have time for them. And I kind of assess it off of that because obviously I buy the stuff I want to play, but then sometimes time or something happens in life where you don't get to play it right away and everything like that. So you kind of pretty much got to assess what your time is, what you're gonna have time to play eventually. You know what I mean? I mean, of course you can leave stuff on the shelf or whatever like that.
Right.
Like there's certain games that are like time consuming that you might not really get time to play. You use those games to trade to get a game that you can play that's not time consuming, like a game you can get in, get out of. A game that's like story driven, maybe 10 hours, something like that. You get in and get out of, or whatever, things like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's kind of a hard question to answer, but it just really depends on where your priorities are at in life, priorities and everything like that. So, I would just say that. But it's healthy. I think it's healthy for every collector, especially myself, to look at what they got every year and decide on if they want to clean up a bit and trade stuff off or sell it. Or get some different stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how I would answer that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all over the place, but that's a hard question to answer.
No, like you can't see, but when you said the whole thing about like when did you buy it versus how long it's been, I gave Josh like an enthusiastic thumbs up because that is an amazing answer to that question, and you came with it real quick. So I was like, bro, that is it. Like that is it. So speaking of, haggling, I feel like, let me ask you this real quick. Do you feel like the word haggling is a derogatory term for negotiating?
No, I mean, it can be looked at that because if you remember, a lot of YouTubers would brag about ripping people off. Like, I haggled them down to this price. And
yeah.
There's YouTubers that ruin it like that because their attitude, a lot of these resellers see their attitudes and they think everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are trying to get over on me and try to rip me off, and then they don't want to haggle or deal with you, whatever. Like
game chasers. Why, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like saying this, but I would say some YouTubers have kind of ruined it by telling the prices they got stuff for. Like when you go to a flea market and you start saying, "Hey, I got this for this price, man, it's worth this much."
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna eventually see that stuff, and the word's gonna spread. And these guys say, you know what? I'm not gonna get ripped off like that anymore, or whatever like that. So people who have been flexing on YouTube with with prices they paid for stuff that's worth more, have kind of like it's come full circle in a way, because everybody sees these videos now they know.
Right,
so
right.
That's how it is now.
Yeah. But speaking of like expensive games and and whatnot, have you seen the news of Rule of Rose?
I think I heard some news about it. Yeah, can you tell me about it? Because I only looked at it briefly.
Yeah, so Josh, why don't you go ahead and pull that up on your phone? So, it was an article that I saw that had come out from comicbook.com. And they had said, and I'll say this in like layman's terms. Josh, if you want to pull up comicbook.com, Rule of Rose, that it was looking to be brought back, essentially. So I'm basically using that game as a platform for this question, and I want to know exactly.
Is that the article or? Was it a different?
No,
one?
It's different. That's from 2018.
Okay.
What I want to know is, so say you got a game like Rule of Rose, right? Which is very expensive.
Yeah.
Very limited print, I would say, just because the sales weren't all that great when it came out.
Yeah.
Which is, and again, when in retrospective, it's crazy because it was made by Atlas, and Atlas is like one of the top tier, companies as far as quality goes. So when a game like that comes out, here, get your phone away from the mic. It's causing interference. When a game like that comes out and say it gets like a re-release, what do you like? Do you think the game value goes down, or do you think it should go up as far as the original goes? Like, that is one question. And the other question is, oh my god, I blanked. So let's go off of that question first.
Well, I'll answer the first question. So as far as like value decreasing on certain games, it really depends. Like when you have a game, like it recently happened for something like Klonoa.
Yeah.
Klonoa had the Reverie collection come out, and yeah, the value of the PS1 copy decreased, but not really by much because they have a certain fan base on that system with that version of it. You know, that version's is still original, where the Reverie series one is a bit different still, even though it's an upgrade or whatever like that. So,
Right.
And a lot of games today, they're well, I probably shouldn't say that with that because that's like what you would call an indie title or whatever like that. But it opens up where more people can play it, thankfully, like true gamers who really want to play it.
Yeah.
But as far as the value decreasing, you know, it really depends on sometimes. I mean, the value will probably stay the same, but then again, you probably won't get people buying it like crazy or looking for it because they can get the Reverie collection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The value, I would say, stay stagnant. You know, whatever like that. That makes any sense. You know, like people are probably ain't looking for that version like that anymore. They say, "I'll just get the Reverie collection." You know, it'll still be worth the money, but who are you going to get to buy it? You know what I mean? Like you have to be in demand in a way. So as far as Rule of Rose is, I think it's around a $700 game now, right?
Yeah.
So with that game, they talked about a remake of it a couple of years ago, and I think that fell through because the company who made that game, I forgot what they were called because Atlas published it, but they only make 2 games. One was called Chupolo, or I can't remember what the name is. It's a funny game, and then Rule of Rose. Rule of Rose, man, if it gets remade, it would be nice because they could fix some issues with it instead of, if it's not a port, it's more of a remake. That'll be good, but I still think the original will keep its value, you know, because there's not that many of them out there, and they will probably implement some different stuff into the newer game, in the remake game. They would probably cut some stuff out or replace some stuff, so then it wouldn't be exactly original. Because you know how this generation, man, it's like different from where certain games were in that generation were, where certain stuff might not cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like
Very
kids
true.
living in an orphanage by themselves, like that's not, no way, we can't have that. That's you know, somebody will complain about that, so they'll have to change some stuff with that. You know, so it's, yeah. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this one too, man. But I think the value overall will stay the same for the original game, but more people will finally get to play it, thankfully, which will be nice if it got remastered.
Right, yeah, and that was leading into my next question is, do you think, like, remasters or remakes are good when compared to, like, the original game? So, like, for example, Dead Space got a remake, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a remaster, it was a remake. So, do you think that remakes necessarily help out the legacy for original games that they're based on? Or do you think that maybe they might tarnish it or deter people from playing the originals?
No, I think remakes will make people go back and play the originals. The thing with remakes, man, and as much as I hate saying this, a lot of creators today, either they don't have good ideas for sequels, or they're not able to produce these sequels, are not able to get backing to make these sequels, because games being made today are very expensive from what they used to be.
Yeah.
You know, so remaking a game that was successful, that has the IP or whatever like that, is actually a smart idea. So example is the Resident Evil series. The remakes of those is actually a great idea. Even though Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, fantastic games. I love them. I mean, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the original, is my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. But at the same time, I'm happy they got a remake, because there's a way. Pre-rendered backgrounds are kind of like a thing of the past in a way, even though you still get some games made with them. But having that game made in a whole way that you can walk around without any loading times, like everything like that, is amazing. Seeing it like in 3D, it's beautiful. Have you guys played Resident Evil 2 remake?
I have. I streamed that one and the third one.
Yeah, I watched him play.
Yeah, so originally when I played those games back in the day, terrifying games, very suspenseful. I loved it, every moment of it. But one of the main guys in Resident Evil 2, which is the Tyrant, which people call Mr. X, he wasn't utilized the way a Capcom wanted to utilize him, like having him walk around in real time because obviously the hardware was limited at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Resident Evil 2 remake, he's actually walking around actively looking for you, which is terrifying. So there's always that sense of dread and suspense.
Yes,
In
yes.
the original Resident Evil 2, because there's only certain times you would meet him. You know, of course, the first time you see him, you're scared, or whatever like that. You know where he's going to be at, scared, or whatever like that. First time, I mean, not knowing where he's going to be, you're going to be scared. But once you know where he's at, then you know what's going to happen. But in Resident Evil 2 remake, you know, you might run into him when you open the door or something, because you're loud or whatever like that. He's actually looking for you, patrolling. There's that sense of terror. So I think that was a great idea to remake those games because they remade them better from what they were, which is fantastic. So I think remaking games that are already great, if they could add something new, a new element to them to make them stand out more, is a great idea. Because sometimes it's not always safe for these guys to make sequels, because the ideas today of making sequels and the money it costs to make them, you know, just might not pan out. Like I'm actually worried about Resident Evil 9 coming out. You know, I don't know what ideas they're going to use for that game.
Wait,
but,
there is a 9 coming out?
Yeah, they've been working on originally Resident Evil 9 was going to be I believe it was going to be Village at the time. And then the Village originally was going to be Resident Evil Revelations 3 before they changed it.
Oh wow.
And 9 wasn't ready yet. So yeah, they've been working on 9 for a few years, man. I mean, yeah, it's coming. It'll be this generation, but you know, I don't know what it could bring that they haven't already brought to the series, man. Like, how can they scare you?
Right.
Resident
Yeah,
Evil
that's a good point.
scary. So what could they bring? They did a good job with Resident Evil 7, the haunted house with the Bakers. That was good. Resident Evil 8, not so much to me scary. It was okay. But that's the main thing of Resident Evil 9 is bringing the scare factor. So sorry, I'm all over the place again. But basically, if they remake a game,
That's what we do on this
they
channel.
they could refine certain scares or whatever like that and make them better. Like in the better part of Resident Evil 2 remake was was Tyrant walking around looking for you.
Yeah.
He can always scare you at any moment. He can always scare you. So
Well,
definitely, yeah.
I think
are a good idea.
I think even 2, I think it was in the Resident Evil remake for 2, the liquor didn't show up when it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changed it up.
Yep. Yeah, and so that was one scene in the original that I hated because I was like, it fucking jump scared every time, right?
Yeah.
And then this time around when I was streaming it,
You were anticipating
I
it?
was anticipating it, and you didn't see it crawl past the window, and where you see it on the ceiling, it wasn't there, and I was like, fuck, no. But I need to take a potty break real quick, but I'm gonna leave you with Josh and ask you this question. When do you think, for example, like a franchise like Resident Evil, when do you think it's time to say, okay, you've serviced us as a community of gamers for X amount of time, let's put you to rest? When do you think a game, or a franchise rather, should be put to rest?
Honestly, when the original idea is kind of finished, when the money stops too, when people lose interest, you know, it's hard. It's probably hard for them to keep making Resident Evil games and making new suspenseful stuff that'll surprise us. But at the same time, I think there has to be an original idea that kind of close it down. And it was funny is that the original Resident Evil 2, which is this one right here, Resident Evil 1.5, this was actually supposed to be the last Resident Evil game. This was the original Resident Evil 2.
Oh, really?
And basically, this game was going to end the series pretty much. It was going to end the series. They were going to end the Umbrella Saga with this one. But they decided to redo this game because they didn't like how it was coming out. And they kind of expanded it. You know what I mean? So they opened it up to be a massive story. The story's got stagnant over the years, yes. But at the same time, every Resident Evil game has sold really well. So, and people have always taken interest in it. So,
yeah,
I would say they get different writers to write stuff for these games because obviously the original people move on, like Shinji Mikami. He's moved on to other projects and everything like that. But as long as you keep things fresh and keep people interested, I mean, it's a fun series. I mean, the name alone, Resident Evil, Biohazard, the IP itself will draw people in. So as long as you don't ruin its reputation by making a bad game, like making a multiple bad games, people won't lose interest as long as you keep it fresh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
I would say they.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
No, you're good. Yeah, so as long as they keep the story interesting and intriguing, it's fine. But if they can't do that, then I think remakes will come in well too. Like just remake something you guys did and make it better, make it more, like they did with the remakes. I think that's a good thing to do. I mean, I don't plan on playing like I don't know where what the future of the series is going to be. In the future, I don't know if we'll have a Resident Evil 12 or 14 or something like that. But as long as it stays intriguing or whatever like that, people will always have interest in it, and you always get the new generation to be interested in it as well. Especially with the Resident Evil engine that they've been using,
Right.
Which is awesome because Resident Evil engine pretty much it loads the whole area. It's like you can walk around the whole area with no load times and deal with stuff. So that's nice.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like they did really well with 7, and then they did horribly like with 6. Right before that. So like,
I'm like one of the people that like 6.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I just could not get into 6. Like I was super excited about it when it like was announced, cause
I liked Operation Raccoon City, and no one liked that.
I loved it. Me and Media Goods played it online still to this day.
I mean, like it's cause like I had played 4. When 5 came out, I was a huge fan of it. I know 5 got some shit, but it was still a fun game. It got shit because it wasn't as scary. It was more action packed than it was scary.
Well, yeah. The thing with 5 was once you add co-op to a Resident Evil game, the fear factor is going to be gone because you got someone watching your back.
Yeah, it's not as intense. Yeah,
you're not secluded or whatever like that. Like the original plan for Resident Evil 5 was Sheva was supposed to be NPC. They changed that in the cycle of it, and that's where the game became the way it was. Now if they remake Resident Evil 5, they should go with that original script where Sheva's just an NPC and Chris is on his own. That'd be a great remake of Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
But but going into Resident Evil 6, man, and why people didn't like it too. I mean, it's basically like the ultimate Resident Evil 4 in a way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you're using the same characters, Leon S. Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Sherry Birkin, they've been through the horrors of Resident Evil. So how can anything scare them? They've seen it all. Right. So they know what's going on. So I think it was smart to make it an action game like it was. Action, horror, whatever you want to call it, depending on what scenario you play. It does get a bit silly. With certain stuff, like the minecart ride and everything like that.
Yeah.
The airplane, like, what the heck is going on? But I loved it for its sheer crazy action. Like it's like the Michael Bay Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to give it a retry one of these days because, like, for me, it was like the gameplay style that really threw me off. So. Right.
Well, remember this, man. It's meant to be played with a friend. It's a co-op game.
True.
So playing it with friends is the most joy you'll get out of it, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Army of 2 with zombies.
Yeah.
No, okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Definitely got to give it a retry then.
You should give it a retry, man. Because it's actually a lot of fun playing with friends. I had fun playing with my friend's Fat Samurai guy. He has a YouTube channel. I played it with him. We played Leon Scenario, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely, I would say give it a try again with a friend.
Oh yeah. So I'm back from my potty break. So Reggie, briefly, when did he say a franchise should end?
We didn't really say.
Pretty much when the money stops.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much when the money stops.
Okay. So do you? See, I kind of feel like that is an appropriate answer, and I mean that there's no wrong answer here.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it should stop before then. Like maybe.
Yeah, but it never does because these people will try to make money as much as they can, and that's the only way they learn to stop is when the money stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when the money stops is basically when people lose interest.
Right.
Like that, they might move on to another franchise because either that franchise they were in is stagnant, they don't have any new ideas, stuff like that. Like if Resident Evil 6, they Resident Evil 7 was another Resident Evil 6. Then Resident Evil would have been lost in the queue. The money would have stopped. People would have moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Like mainly the horror fans would have moved on to something else. There's a certain fan base for Resident Evil 6, but they would have moved on to something else. And they have other games that are horror based. Like you got Dead Space. Even though I don't know if we call it a survival horror, it's an action horror because you can fight back.
Yeah.
In that game. Yeah, that's what I would say. To
Okay.
that. There's other franchises that will pick up the slack. I would say there's other people trying to mimic what Resident Evil 2 was, even though they don't get it right. But they're trying. So.
Yeah.
Do you think Resident Evil? Because like two-parter here. What did you think about Resident Evil going into first person? Like legit first person, not like Dead Aim or Survivor, but like legit first person. What did you think about that?
Like with Resident Evil 7?
Yeah. 7 and 8. And do you think it'll continue in first person?
I think it will, but also they'll always add that third person now. People are interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it being in first person. Honestly, I thought it was fine. I mean, as long as it gave me the scares I wanted or whatever like that. Like it has to be suspenseful. That's what Resident Evil was known for, and that's what Resident Evil 7 brought to us. It was suspenseful. Like going in the Baker house, like in there for the first time, dealing with the Bakers was insane. And
the basement scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, the basement. What happened to the camera crew and the other thing was insane. So they could go in first person, third person, whatever. VR even, which it has.
Yeah.
But it has to.
I have not tried that.
That made the series relevant, which is being suspenseful horror, and survival horror too, obviously.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like Resident Evil is honestly like the perfect franchise to really showcase the fact that them not giving up with like after 6 and continuing on. It's like it shows sometimes persevering is worth it in the franchise, because I mean 7 was a banger.
Yeah.
8, me personally, even though there wasn't as many jump scares or it wasn't as scary, 8 was fantastic too. I loved 8. I still play it every so often.
Yeah, good, because I bought you that game when we bought our PS5.
Yeah, I know. I still play it.
You know what's funny about 8 is that I didn't really care for a lot of the scenarios until we got to the machinery shop. I felt that was more the Resident Evil area for me,
yeah.
Which I thought was I felt like the castle part could have been better if it had different paths or whatever like that. But Lady Dimitrescu stalking you, that was cool. I just think it could have been longer or better. And then there's the part with the haunted house. I thought that was pretty cool, the baby and everything like that.
Oh, that one
was cool.
Freaked me out whenever it was chasing me. I was like, ugh. Yeah.
Well, it added every element which they made for the newer games. Like they try to add everything that made those games good into Village.
Yeah.
Which it depends on how people feel if it works properly or not. I still enjoyed the game, but it's not a game I replay often or anything like that. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
I feel like Resident Evil. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying yeah.
Yeah, Resident Evil Village just felt like it wasn't really a Resident Evil game. Well, a main series. It felt like it was like more of a side story, like its original title, which was Revelations 3, I believe. So it should have been like that type of game. But they made a lot of changes to it to make it Resident Evil 4. I think if they had the DLC in there, added in the game already, I don't know if you guys played the DLC, that would have kind of rounded the game out to make it more complete, I would say.
Was that the Chris Redfield stuff?
No.
Huh? Was it the Chris Redfield stuff or no? That was 7.
Yeah, no.
No, that was 7. 8 was the one where you play as the daughter.
Yeah.
And she's being stalked by these statues. Every time you look at them, they'll start moving towards you, but you have to keep looking at them to keep them still. That part was insane in that game. And it had a part where she's like walking around as a mini. It's the DLC you gotta play for Village. You haven't played it.
I gotta get it.
It's like the Boo Ghost in the Super Mario games.
Yeah, just like that, pretty much like that. But it's more creepy because you can hear them stalking. You can see their eyes glowing.
Oh,
so
God!
You get to an elevator, and you gotta push the elevator button and look at them to make sure they don't come at you because they will get you.
Oh my gosh!
There's a lot of scary stuff in that DLC that they should have added to the regular game, made it like available for the original game, which I feel like they cut out to make it DLC, which is annoying.
You know that reminds me of. Did you play Resident Evil 4 remake?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so that reminds me of when you play as Ashley, and those the knights, the knight armors are like stalking you and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to like keep the blue flames going, so they're yeah. God dang. So leading on to that, what is a game that you feel needs a comeback, whether it be a remaster or a new entry, something that's been dormant for a while?
When do I think it needs it?
Or like, no. What game would you like to see pop back up.
Yeah.
Whether it's dormant for 10 years, 20 years, whatever. What's a franchise that you want to see come back?
I mean, there's quite a few of them. One would be a Silent Hill series because I feel like the original Team Silent are the ones that created. Obviously, they're the ones that created the series, but people Konami's kind of commissioned the series off other people to kind of make Silent Hill games, but they never really made a Silent Hill game like those guys did. So I would like a true Silent Hill game to come out. But as you see with Silent Hill 2, these companies are playing it safe with remakes, remastering and stuff. You know, I mean, honestly, I don't think Silent Hill 2 needs to be remade, but whatever. They should have remade the first one. Mm-hmm. Another one would be the Metal Gear Solid series. You know, I feel like they could make a Metal Gear Rising Part 2, which was great. The sword one with the cyborg, that was a great game.
Right.
That could get a sequel. What else, man? There's so many I could choose, man. It's really hard to think of them now, though.
What about a game that wasn't a franchise, that just like was standalone, but you feel like should have a sequel or a remake?
Well, there's one game which was Steamboat Chronicles Part 2. They were halfway done with it, but the company decided to do pachinko machines, so they canceled development on it.
What?
But yeah, I'm hoping. So what happened with that was they made pachinko machines, and they canceled a lot of their games. Mainly, it happened during the whole tsunami in Japan back in 2011.
Oh yeah.
So Disaster Report Part 4 was being made for the PS3, but it got canceled. But what ended up happening was people who worked for the company, they formed their own company, bought the IP from Iron, which owned Disaster Report, and they made the game themselves on the PS4. So Disaster Report 4 has been out for a couple of years now. So I guess I would like to see a sequel to Disaster Report, which is a great survival adventure game, which they're making Part 5 now, thankfully. But these people are the same people who made the Steamboat Chronicles game, so I'm hoping they will make a sequel to that.
Oh, cool.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
What about you, Josh? What's a game that you would like to come back out?
Omega Boost. Hands down. Omega Boost.
I think
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Me, what I would like to see come back is two games. First one, Twisted Metal. I feel like, and I was honestly anticipating a new game to coincide with the show, but we didn't get a new game. What we did get was a report of a game that got canceled, but I'm not 100% sure that game would have been good for the franchise either way, because it was like an online only type game, from what I understand. So I want to see a true to form Twisted Metal. Now, I like Twisted Metal. I think it was just called Twisted Metal. It was for the PS3. I don't remember what year it came out in.
The real dark one.
Yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah,
but I didn't like the limited like career mode, quote unquote, where you could only play as a certain amount of characters. Yeah. Right? Like, I want true to form Twisted Metal. Talking back about like memories with gaming and stuff in your childhood, Twisted Metal was what I like when I was a kid, right? So Twisted Metal 3 was my first Twisted Metal that I owned. And I talked about it in our panel last year. My neighborhood friends had Twisted Metal 1 and 2, but they would never let me play because I was the youngest kid on the block. And they would always bully me and say I'm too little or I'm too young to play it, that it's too much for me or whatever. So eventually I bought Twisted Metal 3, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I loved it. You know, I loved the intro with the fucking Rob Zombie, you know, and that, you know, the 90s CGI, you know, animation and stuff.
So the first Twisted Metal you owned was 2 or 3?
3.
Okay. So 3, only got 3, but 2, you know, is the best one, right?
Yeah. So I went straight from 3 and then got 4 and then got Black. I'm not gonna lie, I really, and and I got a lot of shit for this on our panel last year, but I love games for what they are, and I really enjoyed, especially 4 with the level design. The level design for me was something so fucking cool, especially like Sweet Tooth's bedroom as a level with like the Hot Wheels track and stuff. I thought that was so cool. Or the circus. But anyways, I want to see, or no, going back to what I was saying originally is, I was like I felt bullied and stuff. So like when I got Twisted Metal 3 and they wanted to play it with me, I told them no. Because they always told me I couldn't play 1 and 2 with them. So I always felt like Twisted Metal was feeling like I was playing what it would be like online, back in the day. Because you always felt like the AI cars were other players. So it was a cool experience, back then. And that's just a little story for, back then. But I want to see like a true to form, cartoonish, outlandish Twisted Metal. I want it to go back to its roots where it's not just like based in reality and everyone's a psychotic serial killer. Like the dark stuff is cool.
The perfect game to play in that series, if you haven't played them, is definitely Twisted Metal 2, because that's the one that's the highest rated one in the series because of the production values alone they put into that game. Like the company who made that game, they went on to make other games. That's why Twisted Metal 3 and 4 is so different from what 1 and Part 2 is.
Yeah.
And then they kind of replicate that formula what Part 2 brought. They made a direct sequel to Part 2, which is actually Twisted Metal Head On, which is for the PS2 and the PSP.
Yep.
Now, if you don't own those, the reason why you should own them because they're awesome games. They're direct sequels to Twisted Metal Repeat Part 2, but the PS2 version comes with a
Harbor City.
It comes with a disc called the Lost disc, and it basically shows you the cut endings from Twisted Metal Part 1, which were all FMV.
Yeah.
Real active.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I have it.
It's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and then and then you got that demo for Harbor City, which would have been the next one in line, where you can run around as Sweet Tooth in like the sewer level and whatnot. Are you familiar with that?
I don't think so, no.
So yeah, there's a mode in the PS2 version where you can run it. So the next Twisted Metal was supposed to be called Twisted Metal Harbor City, and it was going to be a game where you could come out of your vehicle. And
okay.
And in this demo version that they had as an unlockable, you could run around as Sweet Tooth in a sewer level, and you would basically just run up to like information icons, and it would break down like what Harbor City was going to be like, and that it was on its way, and this and that. But it never came to be. And there was like a rumor going around that like the dev team had all died in a plane crash, but that was false and stuff. Unfortunately, Harbor City was like 40% or 50% completed before it got canceled, and they went straight to black.
I was gonna say, wasn't there a similar mode like that in Twisted Metal for the PS3 or PS4, whichever one it was? I forgot. PS3.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, because I remember playing on the PS3 Twisted Metal, and there was a mode where you could run around as Sweet Tooth.
Oh wow, maybe.
Maybe that's Twisted Metal Kids, the Twisted Metal Mini. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, Small Brawl.
Well, maybe it was that one. Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of all this Twisted Metal stuff, though, like Nick, I hope you watched the Twisted Metal series.
Oh, twice.
Yeah, watched it.
Yeah,
I watched it twice. I watched the entire series the day it dropped.
Yeah,
and then I rewatched it weekly with Josh when he would come over and hang out to show him. And I fucking love Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth. And the Will Arnett as his voice.
Is he the one playing Sweet Tooth?
Yeah, that's Samoa Joe.
I didn't know it. Will Arnett's doing the voice and everything.
Yeah. Samoa Joe is so good at being an animated character.
Oh yeah,
his
fucking nailed it.
His acting, just with his body
language,
is just fucking great. His eyes, the way he looks, at a character with the intensity or maybe calmness or just the way he like will threaten someone and then laugh after immediately, and he's like, "I'm just fucking with you."
Yeah.
You know, like it's so good. And I love the way that I was disappointed at first, right? Because I was like, "Where's the tournament? Why is this about, you know, a milkman or whatever?" But then it sets up the tournament for the next season, and I was like, "Please, please, please, green light season 2, please! I need to see this tournament." But then they got it.
Oh yeah, season 2 is already greenlit, man. So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for
the only
that.
thing is holding back is the writer's strike happened, so
Yeah.
a lot of series got delayed.
Yeah. And then the second franchise I want to see come back is Bloody Roar. I love that series, that franchise.
Bloody Roar is actually that's a good one, man, because those games are all pretty good, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I have all of them, and that's a series that I would call as a fighting series. It's kind of like hidden in a way. Like, a lot of people don't know about it. Like,
yeah, I don't know about
changing
that
your
one.
characters, those animals and everything like that, doing all those crazy moves, man. Again, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's almost like I guess like a play on the animality, right, from Mortal Kombat, but it's it's its own series. I think that series would be really, really well off for a comeback because I think fighting games are really starting to gain a lot more momentum again. You know,
Oh, 100% with tournaments and stuff like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially like with Evo. And Josh and I were talking about this on our last podcast. We think that wrestling games should be entered in Evo.
Yeah.
We feel like wrestling games, they are fighting games, and they're very methodical fighting games. And we were saying that it would be especially excellent for the crowd to watch two really good professional wrestling gamers put on a good match for the crowd at, say, like an Evo. Because the crowd is essentially watching a pro wrestling match. You know? It's not so much like frame counting and stuff like you would see with like a Tekken or a Street Fighter, or even like a Killer Instinct. We think that professional wrestling games have a right to be in the fighting game category, you know? And
especially now that professional wrestling is making a comeback in popularity.
oh, professional wrestling is as hot, I would say. It might be even hotter than it... Well, no, I won't go that far. But it's nearing the Attitude Era peak of popularity again.
Yeah. Like, because I've met a ton of people that are just like... It seems like they're closeted wrestling fans.
Oh, yeah.
Just, out of nowhere, it's like, oh, yeah, wrestling. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, WrestleMania was this past weekend, right? And, like, people who you would not expect to be pro wrestling fans were at the show, like Drew Barrymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like Drew Barrymore was there at the show. You know what I mean? Like professional wrestling, I think. I mean, like sure, it could have its own category in fighting games, but like again, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. You know, I'm trained as it is, but it's like bring back like Saturday Night Slam Masters, even if it's like a digital only game for a little bit, and then it gets like a physical release through maybe like a premium edition or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, you guys know Saturday Night Slam Master has a sequel, right?
Yeah. It wasn't under the same title though, right?
No, it was under a different title, but it was like in arcades only, unfortunately. But it was a really good sequel to that game.
Yeah, I showed Josh the game and he was like, Capcom made a pro wrestling game?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it threw me off.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like a beat 'em up pro wrestling game, but it's still a really good game.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
Both versions of it.
So I think I asked this at your panel, but I want to ask you again here for those in the chat. Because we talk about pro wrestling on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm,
now,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
We're under the assumption you don't, which is totally fine. But you should probably start watching pro wrestling, Reggie. I'm just saying.
No, I used to watch it all the time. I think I fell off when they were trying to make John Cena like a baby face.
Oh yeah.
Probably back in 2004, 2005, and I was annoyed because I like John Cena when he was a heel, like when he was beefing with the Undertaker, pissing on his coffin and stuff like that, like doing weird stuff like that. That had me cracking up.
Yeah.
When they try to make him a baby face and had that music, get out of here with this, man. I stopped watching it around 2005, 6.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my people that were in it kind of left in a way. Like I like wrestlers like Tajiri. Remember Tajiri with the Karate Rush, blowing that freaking that fire in people's face. So whatever this bit was, what's the thing that Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock is still here and there or whatever like that. But I just missed a lot of guys I used to like Mark Jindrak, the Bassam brothers.
Yep.
They were hilarious with Shaniqua. I remember freaking I used to watch a lot. I even had the games up until 2000. The 2006 one is where I stopped.
Oh wow.
I like the story mode in the games. Like I remember the first SmackDown game I actually played was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
Okay.
And the story mode plays for over 2 years. So you pick your character or your created character, and remember the first year, the NWO invades WWE, and they come after you and beat you up. It's hilarious. My character get involved with all this stuff. And then the next one, Here Comes the Pain. That story was crazy too. But it's just I just like that era of it. Then I kind of fell off. I like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I remember when they won the championships in the WrestleMania 20. I was watching it in a bar. Everybody was going crazy. I remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of fades when the guys you watch left. You know what I mean? When they're gone. And now I look at wrestling. I look at it. We still got John Cena and The Rock coming in there here and there. But I just found out who Roman Reigns was or whatever. I just found out who he is.
Holy shit!
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I found out about him maybe a year ago. So.
Yeah, I order
top guys.
Yeah, I order all the pay-per-views, and I sign up for all of the streaming services for pro wrestling. But what is your favorite experience with the pro wrestling game? You can say experience, but I guess what I'm really trying to say is what is your favorite pro wrestling game?
Probably WWE Wrestling Fest in the arcades.
Oh, WrestleFest, yeah.
Yeah, WrestleFest. It was. I remember playing that, and we had the Royal Rumble and everything, and I was having such a good time fighting people on that. We were all playing together at the time, and we were trying to. Everybody obviously was trying to win, and you can win by not getting eliminated or putting a quarter. But I remember I was playing with $1 Million Man, and towards the end of the match, I was hiding. I was trying to hide off screen where people didn't know I was still playing. And let the guys find out and beat themselves up, and that's what happened. And so I come out of nowhere. And I put the guy in $1 Million Dream, and he gave up, and I won the Royal Rumble. That was one of my top moments in a wrestling game. So that game kind of never left me. But I loved that game so much because of the roster. Even though I needed a better roster, my main team was always Mr. Perfect because the Perfect Plex and the $1 Million Man. He put you to sleep.
Yep.
Sleeper is one of the best moves ever, man. It's not too technical. It's safe. That's the best finisher I think out there. So that was my team. And I remember that game. The big boss in that game was Legion of Doom, and you had a certain amount of days to get to matches to get to them. And the game would pump you up. So Legion of Doom wait for your challenge or whatever. It was crazy stuff. That's my favorite wrestling game. That was my best experience with a wrestling game, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah. Have you played? Gosh, it was. I think it had come out about 2 years ago. It's the one that Riggs is in.
Yeah. So Retro. It was funny. I forgot.
Is it Retromania or something?
Retromania, something like that. The developers had hit me up and they asked me if I wanted to be in the game as an NPC. I was like, sure, yeah, that'd be cool. And they said, yeah, we'll send you a code when the game comes out too. And it was funny though. The game came out and I never got a code. I was like, what the heck? So I hit them up. I said, hey, are you guys studying the code? And they go, oh yeah, here you go. It was weird.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of thrown off about it. So I gave the code to somebody else. I never even played the game. But I know I'm in it as an NPC, but I from what I've heard people say about it, it doesn't replicate what Wrestling Fest was. I mean, it tries to, but it's just not it because you just can't do it, man. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is something.
Yeah. Were you a fan of any of the ones on the 64?
No, I didn't become a fan until SmackDown on PS2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get to enjoy those games like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't play. The last time I played wrestling before I played, with you in the 2K 22.
22.
Mm-hmm. was back on the N64.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, unless you count Def Jam.
Mm-hmm. Well, I count Def Jam.
Oh, okay. Then
And
yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God, Def Jam Fight for New York, man. That game was. Somebody actually made it. Well, not to mock anything crazy that happened in New York recently, but somebody got put on the train track.
Oh.
In the train, but they got saved. But what somebody put in the comments was a gift of Def Jam Fight for New York. We get knocked from the subway track and the train comes and shows you got it.
Oh yeah.
They put that gift in the comments, and that was hilarious.
Oh man.
A Fight for New York. Let me grab a drink real fast.
oh yeah, you're good. It's funny because Def Jam, a lot of people don't know, and maybe even you guys in the chat, a lot of people don't know that Def Jam Vendetta was supposed to be a WCW game.
Yeah, I remember. We've talked about it a few times, but it's still fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a WCW sequel, but WCW at that time, I think that sequel for the WCW game had the WCW had been bought by the WWF, so they were forced to restart over.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's nuts, and it's funny because when people talk about Def Jam Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for New York, they think it's just like a fighting game with rappers, and I'm like, bro, that's a wrestling game.
I know.
The mechanics, the move sets, everything. It is a wrestling game.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoyed about it. And that's what got me like a edge up, I believe, when I would play it against my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they would treat it as a fighting game. And I'm like, you guys, you don't even know, motherfucker.
Oh, man.
You don't even know.
Oh man, I had so much fun with Def Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And I know everyone loves Fight for New York. I'm a sucker for Vendetta. The first one. Like I don't know, maybe it was because I was looking so forward to it. I mean, I'll tell you this, dude. I had dial-up internet when that game was coming out. I went to Def Jam's website and they had a countdown timer for when the game would release.
Really?
And I would leave that window open. And I would leave school and be like, okay, there's, 12 hours left. Or, 2 days and 22 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would constantly look at the countdown timer for when Def Jam Vendetta would come out. But Reggie, I don't know if you heard any of the conversation, but like Def Jam Vendetta was supposed to be a WCW wrestling game. Yeah.
Yeah. It plays like a wrestling game. So
yeah,
definitely. But dude, that series, man. My favorite is Fight for New York, but the story in that game, like creating your own character and everything like that, is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And going through the story mode. I remember the first game, D-Mob was the main bad guy.
Yep.
And in the second game, you gotta help D-Mob reclaim his empire. Like, it's insane, dude.
I remember.
Did you like Def Jam Icon?
I know. So when Icon came out, I was already kind of like moved on from the series. I had I had this weird like evolution, I guess, with or progression with like my gaming experience, right? So like, I was all about modern games at the time. So when it had come out, I think what was Halo 3. Was it Halo 3 that had come out during that time?
Oh wow, really?
ODS, whatever it was.
ODST.
Maybe it was Halo 3.
Yeah, I was all about
ODST.
the online multiplayer FPS games at that time. So I had kind of.
You moved on.
Yeah, I had moved on. So I was either playing Halo 3 or fucking Wii Tennis.
What the heck?
Or Rock Band. Like that's where I was at, or fucking Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah. Who didn't play those?
Yeah. And it was funny because everyone I knew had a Wii except me. So, and that's another thing about going back to like, as an adult, you can collect for things that you didn't have as when you were a kid or younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the PS3 came out, for example, I was in high school, and the PS3 launched at $600, right?
Yeah.
There's no way as a
Remember that shit.
there's no way as a kid in high school who's making maybe like $7 an hour working as a fucking,
Part-time fucking McDonald's employee.
yeah. Like, I think I was a barista at the time for a local coffee shop. And I was making like $6 an hour because it was my friend's dad who owned the shop.
Oh man.
So I was making nothing. So there's no way I could have bought a PS3 at the time. But now, as an adult, I got a PS3 and I can buy all the games I want for it. But I don't feel that way for the Wii.
Really?
I feel like there's nothing on the Wii's library that calls me. Unless it's I want the House of the Dead game on the Wii. I think it's Overkill. Is that what it's
on
called?
the PS3 as well, though.
Oh, it's on the PS3?
And the PS3 version is uncensored too.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
There you go.
Now there's nothing there's nothing on the Wii that I want.
No reason to get the Wii now.
Yeah, the only game I have for the Wii is an iCarly game that I bought for Evelyn like 4 years ago at a convention.
I was gonna say, why the fuck do you have an iCarly game on Wii?
No, it's for Evelyn.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I didn't even know any iCarly video games. That's wild.
Me neither.
well, I mean, there's like a Hannah Montana game. There, yeah.
What do you even do?
Here's the thing, Nick. When it comes to the Nintendo Wii, obviously it's a gimmicky system.
Yeah.
It wants to support you to use motion controls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there were some good things about the Wii, which was being able to go to the Wii shop and buy the old school games, like NES games, or just games exclusively for the Wii U store, like the Contra Rebirth game, the Castlevania Rebirth game, and there was a Gradius Rebirth game. Those are exclusive to the Wii, and those games were pretty awesome. But as far as the library of the Wii, it's hit and miss. I was able to find good games on that system to make it worth having. I feel like if you need at least 10 games or more on a system to make it worth owning, and the Wii qualified that for me. So a lot of the Wii games I got a few years ago are actually like sought after games because like there is the I'm not saying it's a good game, but it's a haunted house simulator. It's called The Grudge Ju-On. If you are a fan of the Grudge movies, play this game. It's pretty trippy. You know what I mean? It's definitely a haunted house simulator.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Stuff like that is exclusive to the Wii and everything like that. So I feel like if you can find at least over 10 games for a system, it might be worth having. But the Wii is one of the ones I consider kind of like at the bottom in a way. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Wii, unless you're, all about Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Or what is it, Twilight Princess?
Yeah, Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I feel like those games are really like the only reason maybe why someone would have a Wii. Or, Wii Sports.
Right.
I
mean, Wii Sports were
Wii
kind of
Sports,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
People only play Wii Sports, but Wii Bowling and those games, they're still immensely fun for a lot of people. That's why Wii Sports is still going for like a certain amount of money and everything like that, which is kind of funny.
And it's crazy because it was a pack-in game.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, we'll go ahead and say we'll go on this last topic here because we've been going for about 2 hours now and 20 minutes.
2?
What's that?
Oh, it's been 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've probably had you on for just about 2 hours.
Yeah, because once we hit 2.5, we were on for half an hour.
Yeah.
So once we hit 2.5, it's 2 hours with you. Yeah.
But I mean, hey, man, like it's not like we want to get you the fuck out of here,
I know it's getting late for everyone.
Yeah. Well, Reggie's actually an hour behind us.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even more reason to keep it on longer.
It's 9:09 here, but I haven't had dinner yet, and I went from the gym to setting up for the podcast to podcasting, and I'm like, bro,
you're feeling it.
Yeah,
you're feeling it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I need to eat soon. But
I know it hasn't even felt like 2 hours. It was just it was a cool conversation, pretty much.
Oh yeah, dude, like time flies by when you're having fun. I remember when I was like 8 years old, I would have a friend over at the house, and my mom would be like, all right, it's time for your friend to go home, down the street or whatever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We were just playing for like half an hour. And she's like, bro, it's been like 5 hours. He needs to get his ass home.
Right.
But,
I remember those days.
oh, yeah. So Reggie, like, where do you want to see gaming go? Because I asked this question with the preface of gaming. I feel gaming these days is a bit, the product as itself is overproduced to a point where if a game flops, a studio can shut down just off of one game.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like you had, again, I'll bring up this example, 989 Studios. They made, Jet Moto 3, or they produced Jet Moto 3, Twisted Metal 3 and 4, and a bunch of other various like sports titles and stuff. Not every one of those games was a hit, and they were able to survive. Nowadays, a company could put a game out, and it flopped, and their studio is shut down just based off of that one flop. So where do you want to see gaming go in the future? I would say now into the next, 5 years? Because there's even speculation that, gaming might not even be a thing in the next 10 years.
Well, there's different categories for gaming, so I'll go with the single player and multiplayer. When it comes to single player games, I want to see complete story-driven games that have replayability to them, so you can have more than one reason to go back and play them. Like, I want a complete experience. Like, an example of a complete experience is Final Fantasy Rebirth. I played that, and I want to go back and do all the side quests. I want to do all these extra stuff and keep the story going and just play it and enjoy the lively world that they created in it. So I would love to see more games when it comes to AAA titles like Final Fantasy Rebirth that have the production values, if possible. You know what I'm saying? As far as multiplayer games, I feel like they will always have. They've already. Those are the ones that make the most money. To be honest with you, look at Fortnite. That game. I believe that was a free game, but they made so much money just off the add-on content. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird for me to think about it. I haven't really thought about it a lot, but I just want to see complete experiences, and you get what you pay for, a value for your dollar. I would say, I would like to see more indie games, nostalgic of the games we came up with.
Yeah.
With more funding and backup from bigger companies, hopefully, so you can get them out without these companies have to use Kickstarters and GoFundMes. But I would like to see more stuff like that, I would say. But it's hard to say because for me, honestly, with the collection I have, I could go back and just play all these classic games I loved as a kid and just replay them again like if they're brand new and still enjoy them. So the future is the way I look at the future is right now is that I want to see it flourish, but at the same time I don't know if it is because of the way games are being distributed these days, like add-on content, like season passes for fighting games. Add-on transactions, like loot boxes and stuff like that. It's like, what the hell is going on here? But it's all over the place answer, unfortunately. So I'll just say that I want to see it flourish, but I don't know if it is, honestly.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? Where do you want to see gaming go? Not where do you think it's going to go, but where do you want to see it go?
Yeah. Now, I want to see gaming get away from being just, all about the money. It's cool. Cool that you want to make the money. But make it a passion project again. Make gaming passion projects again. Because that's what really got most of us into gaming. Because a lot of these games that were passion projects were just fantastic. They may have had shitty, gameplay per se, or clunky controls, but the story was really well fleshed out, and it was a complete story. There was no DLCs that you paid for. You got what you paid for. You know, you got
Yeah.
the full experience. Nowadays, they're just freaking chopping it up and then selling it to you in pieces.
Like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Right? So I want
Well-
Huh?
Let Reggie speak. Let the man speak.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Reggie.
Final Fantasy Remake is a massive game, man. So
Yeah.
they're actually they've added on it so much from the original. So I understand why that is the way it is. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was playing a little devil's advocate there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for real. I really want fuck the shareholders. Do what you want to do with the game.
Yeah.
You know, that's why indie gaming right now is so huge, because people understand that passion projects are the way to go. And the thing is, if you do really well with your passion project, the money's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
The money's gonna be there. So don't fucking worry about the money. Don't try to just copy paste everything that's out nowadays just to try to be successful. Put love into it.
Yeah.
One of the more recent games that I can say that has that is, like God of War, like Ragnarok, and God of War 4. You know, those games, you could feel the passion in it. You know, granted, they're not as good as, especially if you have the nostalgia glasses on. They're not as good as the first three, but for me personally, I feel like they were really well done.
Well, I mean, I would say that the first three, and not to go on a tangent here, but the first three were different games.
Very true. Very true.
Totally different playing style. You might even put them in a different genre altogether. You know, those were really like hack and slash platformers.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's like a more narrative driven kind of game.
Like closer to RPG. Well, it is an
Yeah,
RPG.
yeah. I would say God of War and Ragnarok are RPGs.
Yeah.
You know.
But like that, I just feel like they really, really drove into the not just the story, but like the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of dialogue that's not exactly part of the story, but it makes it feel like the game has a lot more life.
I think what you're saying is the heart.
Yeah.
The heart of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before God of War 1 through 3, I mean, for fuck's sakes, the first game opened with you smashing a button to hump a girl.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
On the
Is
ship.
that how it started?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the first thing you were
Yeah.
you were able to do. You would mash a button to finish off.
It was fucking circle. You press circle.
Yeah. Josh remembers the fucking button. Holy shit.
Dude, there's memes about it nowadays. It's fucking hilarious.
That's hilarious, man.
Hold on.
But yeah. Go. You want to finish off with what you're saying?
No, I'm pretty much just gonna end it off that I really. That's where I want it to go. Now, is it gonna go there? I highly fucking doubt it, because it's all about money and it's all about the greed. But if it
With AAA.
with AAA, yeah, with the double A's, the C batteries, the D batteries, those guys, they'll bring the passion into it. But the AAA's, I just hope they do. If they don't, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think for me, I want to see, like I know you brought up God of War and God of War Ragnarok as examples.
Yeah.
I want to see games that cost half the price of those games.
Oh, right.
Like, I don't think every game needs to be millions of dollars produced. I want to see games go back to a smaller scale production and come back to a more simplistic form. I want these ideas of day one patches to be a thing of the past. I want games to when you pop, like, that's why I love the Switch so much, is because when you buy a Switch game, that game is on the cart.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like 98% of the Switch titles, those games that you buy are on that cartridge. It's not a download disc.
Yeah.
It's not a access key disc.
Yeah.
I want to see games scale back, and I want to see games not rely on budget and graphics and who can we pay to voice this character and so on and so forth, right? Like, and look I've been a guest at conventions, and I know this might be a little fiery for me to say, but like, I could voice a character almost just as well as somebody else could. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I would cost 1/100th of their price.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that they don't do a good job or whatever, but it's scaling back the production costs. When you have such a high budget game, think about what that budget feels like on the shoulders of the developers, the artists, and the actors involved in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so many mocap guys that are so underutilized that I've met in person, whether with my acting shit that I've done in Hollywood, and these stunt guys are just as capable as anyone I've ever seen do mocap for a Mortal Kombat game or Street Fighter or WWE, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. I would say that like WWE does a really good job with their mocap because they use their own wrestlers to do the mocap.
Oh, okay.
But like other fighting game studios, you know, they pay probably out the ass to get the best of the best, etc., etc. And that's cool and all. You know, like, you want your game to be the best, you're going to put the money out for it for appropriate, you know, mocap, whatever. But I feel like studios really got to, like, broaden their horizons with voice actors who are lesser known. Like, no offense to the guy, but, like, Troy Baker is in, like, every fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired.
Yeah, it's like the cycle.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I heard this guy before. Like,
yeah. And, like, I'm tired of it. I'm, like, if I met Troy Baker, I'd be 100% respectful, etc., etc. But, like, I don't need him voicing every single person I'm playing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've heard some of his stuff, and, like, it takes a lot of talent. I'm not trying to put them down. But it takes a lot of talent to be a good voice actor and put a emotional impact into a 3D image character, right?
Yeah.
But, like, there's a lot more people who can do it than just Troy Baker or Chris Nolan or so on and so forth, right? So, like, if you were to scale these games back and not worry about hiring, you know, top of the top, etc., etc., and bring games back to being the sole focus of, is this fun?
Yeah.
Is this fun? Can someone who's sick play this and escape, I don't know, their cold or strep throat or whatever and enjoy their time? Cool. Mm-hmm. Is someone who's going through a breakup or a really hard time in their life play this and feel an escape? Cool. Is someone who just lost somebody in their life, can they play this and have their mind go somewhere else? Cool. Those are the checklist things that I would say that game studios need to actually worry about. Yeah. And that all falls back on, like, a connection with their fan base. You know, and I mean, I'm not saying every game needs to be that deep. You know, you've got, like, dude, would I fucking love a new Time Crisis on the fucking PS5? Hell yeah, I would.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, it's mind-numbing fun.
New Time Crisis, man.
What's that?
They got Time Crisis 5 out. Time Crisis 5 doesn't exist.
It's on the PS5?
But it's arcade only.
Ah, okay.
No, it's only in arcade. Time Crisis 5.
Ah, see.
He got you all hyped up.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh shit. Maybe I'll have to go to a Dave & Buster's or something. But yeah, man, like, I feel like studios, and it's really more the publishers, right? The publishers need to take their fucking eye off of the prize of being the next big, like, so many studios were so worried about being the next Fortnite killer.
Oh yeah.
You know, or being the next, you know, top this or top that. Scale that shit back. You know, worry about being the best you. Yeah. I mean, and look, it's the same thing across the board. Like, YouTube, even as an example, like, don't worry about being the next Metal Jesus or the next Radical Reggie. Worry about being the next you.
Right.
You know, do you. And I think game development studios really need to focus on that. I want to see bro, are you really going to, and look, maybe in like 5 to 10 years you'll see these videos, but like right now, are you really going to find a PS5 Hidden Gems video?
Not really.
I mean, I don't think so, because right now, like, a PS5 Hidden Gems video would be like a Steam Hidden Gems video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, that's what I'm saying. I want to see like first party development, like, peak and do good, and like, again, like Tiny Tank, for example, the one that I highlighted in my last video. Like, what is a Tiny Tank for the PS5 right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like,
the closest you can get would be like Helldivers, but then, you know, it's...
But Helldivers is Helldivers has taken over the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Helldivers is what was that, like, Pokemon game?
Oh, Pal World.
Pal World.
Yeah.
Like, Pal World was like all over the place. But Helldivers showed up and no one's talking about Pal World anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you can't scroll through your what do you call it? Your reels and not find
a
Helldivers reel.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I'm gonna go on a rant, and I'm reeling it in myself.
Yeah.
But I want to see gaming come back to being simplistic and fun, and made for the purpose of being fun, not made for the purpose of making millions.
Passion project.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
But you just went a little bit more in detail on what they need to do.
Yeah, I took way too much time explaining my end.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. But
That's funny.
But Reggie, man, like, we thank you so much for being on our show tonight, dude. Like, I know we kind of had a little mishap with the beginning and everything, and trying to get everything squared away. I had no idea Zoom was going to charge $16 a month to be able to have a Zoom meeting longer than 40
with
minutes.
No free trial, man.
Yeah, I should have looked up a free trial code. But I will definitely be using StreamYard from now on. Yeah, from what you've been saying. So, Reggie, dude, like, we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us and talk with us about video games and your experience and everything. Before we say anything else, we just want to say again, I've said this to you before in person, but thank you for your service. It doesn't matter when you served, man. Like, thank you for your service, and I'm sure a lot of people might not even know that you served in the military, and I hope that a lot more people honor that and respect that and appreciate that about you first and foremost, man, because that's not an easy commitment at all. It takes a very strong person to take that step forward. So thank you for your service. And I always want to say to you, bro, like, thank you so much for all the guidance that you've given me, all the time that you've spent talking with me, just personally, man. Like, you've improved my life in more ways than one. You know what I mean? Whether it be in the times when I was going through real hard times in 2020, or even now where you're, essentially a producer for the videos that I put out, man. Like, I appreciate you more than you know, and there's no way, however I can pay you back, bro, I will do it. I appreciate you so much. Tell the people what you're working on and where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on YouTube under the Radical One. I'm trying to get back to the flow of doing videos myself on a regular basis. Had a lot of scripts recently in the last couple of months, so it took me away from YouTube. But I have a lot of pickups videos coming up pretty soon, a plethora of those. Hidden Gems video from Guess One, and a couple other surprises. I'm going to do a Switch collection video and my Game Boy Advance video. Kind of celebrate the 100th K subscribers video. Well, I don't know when that one's coming out, but yeah, I got a lot of plans, so definitely check me out.
And any social media links you want to drop?
Oh, you can put Instagram, Radical Reggie, X, Radical Reggie. What else is there? TikTok, Radical Reggie as well. Got TikTok, which is crazy to think about. And then, of course, YouTube. So,
yeah, we're still late to the game on the TikTok. We haven't done that yet.
I've never even downloaded it, been on it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Reggie, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, man, or your night, rather. Guys, make sure in the chat, if you haven't yet already, subscribe to Reggie and follow him on all of his socials. I've been Nerdy Nick. You can follow me on Instagram at nerdynick_91 and on X at buffnerd. Yeah! You can also find Josh deep in the sauce where it's thicker than a Snicker, because he's always looking for those sneaky links. You know what I'm saying? Josh doesn't have social medias too much, so
Yeah.
I just like to poke fun at him every time we take our exit out here.
Right.
But guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications, press that like button, and subscribe if you're new here. We thank you so much for all the new viewers that we've had throughout the last couple of weeks, and thank you so much for all of you in the chat tonight. You guys are awesome, lovely. I've been reading as we've been going along. Tonight, the chat has been too much to keep up with. Normally, we read the chat during the show, but tonight, you guys have been killing it. And this is our first stream, really, since the videos have started to take off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost at tears right now. I'm not going to lie, dude. Like, I'm holding back tears because of all the chat that's been going on in the streams. This is something that I would have never really expected, because I always thought that we were going to be nobodies, and we just do this just to do it, and the community's grown so much in just this short amount of time. I don't know. It's exponential growth, and I wasn't expecting it, and I can't believe. I mean, like, Monday Night Raw is on right now, guys. Like, it's the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and you guys are here on this show instead of watching that. Like, I don't know. I'm getting emotional and fucking worked up right now. But thank you guys so much in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much, and we'll catch you guys next time, man. So we'll see you guys later. All right.